all starts with the right house. That's where we come in. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Cool-Ray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
From finding the perfect house to making it your home, we'll be with you every step of the way. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Introducing GForceTV. GForceTV.net is your new source for action overload. Featuring free live programming year-round and countless hours of on-demand video, GForceTV will be your first stop whenever you want to see the latest and hottest racing action. See live Friday Night Excitement weekly from Washouican Speedway, and watch the stars of tomorrow make a name for themselves during Thursday night's live microsprint racing. GForceTV is also the new home for Rivals Race Chat. Watch weekly as Clinton Jeffrey and Adam Ross discuss all the hot topics in the world of motorsports. For iRacing fans, GForceTV has you covered with hours of live broadcasting from Rivals and GForceTV racing leagues. GForceTV promises to deliver motorsports, esports, and action sports you want to see, along with talk shows and vlogs to keep you connected to the lifestyle you love. Visit GForceTV.net today to subscribe for free. Sit back, hold on, and feel the G's on GForceTV.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Monday Night Madness. And Scotty, it's an hour early, and here we are getting set to go racing tonight. Oh, the madness. And then guess what? There's no wings on the racetrack right now. I see late models. Scotty, good evening. Hello. Welcome to the Veterans Showdown Week here with the GeForce Racing Leagues.
Good to be here, Sean. And yes, we don't have wings. We're talking my language now and late models. And yes, we have a very interesting night tonight, but a very good week. The start of Veterans Showdown here for Salute to Veterans Week here at the GeForce Racing Leagues.
It is going to be a big week of action. We've got a doubleheader here tonight. Yes, this is just the start of the action here this evening. The late models here at the Lernerville Speedway, we're going to cap this one off tonight with a 75-lap main event, and then we're going to come right back with 360 sprint car action right after this one takes the checkered flag, and their feature event tonight, 50 laps in distance here at the Lernerville Speedway. So get ready for a big, big night of action here at the track. It is going to be a big one. And, of course, this is all for a great cause here this week. So we want to thank GeForce Racing Leagues and the entire GeForce family for doing what they can. You know, Scotty, since the start, GeForce Racing Leagues always does some special fundraising events, charity events. They've raised over $5,000 for various charities in the U.S. and Canada. And tonight is their latest charity event.
Yes, it is, Sean, and the Veterans Showdown here this week is the start of it, I should say. Very, very great charity to donate to as well. And like you said, just the multiple charities they've done, like the Racing for Grady 150 earlier on this year. They did an Autism Awareness Week earlier this season, and these guys definitely charitable and great to be a part of it.
Two organizations going to benefit from this week of racing action here on the GeForce TV and GeForce Racing Leagues, and you can help contribute as well, and we encourage you to do so. You can learn more about the Disabled American Veterans Organization, DAV.org. DAV.org. You head over there. DAV, a nonprofit charity, provides a lifetime of support for veterans of all generations and their families, helping more than 1 million veterans in positive, life-changing ways each and every year. Every year they provide more than 240,000 rides to veterans attending medical appointments and assist veterans with, well, more than 160,000 benefit claims. That's just a little bit of what they do. You can support their mission at DAV.org. Tonight also, and this entire week, also going to support Soldier On, and you can learn more about them at soldieron.ca. Soldier On, a program up there of the Canadian Armed Forces. It contributes to the recovery of ill and injured members of the Canadian Armed Forces and veterans, and provides opportunities and resources for sport, recreation, and creative activities. So you can, again, learn more about them, and you can go on to either of those sites. They each got it very easy to click and donate. That's soldieron.ca, or we can make it really easy. Head on over to our website, GForceRL.com, and that is where you'll find all of the information on the GeForce Racing Leagues and this Veterans Showdown Week, and you can donate right there off of that site, too. That's GForceRL.com. So great reason to be here tonight, Scotty, and I think we're looking forward to some great racing as well.
Great racing indeed, and I mean, what's better than late models and sprint cars on a Monday night? I don't see how this could get any better, but yes, very good reason to be here tonight. Some great racing action. For those of you tuned in already here on GeForce Esports here on YouTube, tell your friends, tell your family, tune in to this double header broadcast here for some pro late model racing and then some 360 sprint cars coming up right after tonight's pro late model feature. I cannot talk tonight, Sean.
You're all
I apologize.
It's like you've been announcing races all weekend long, and we have been. It has been a great time to be racing here in the upper Midwest of the U.S., and great to be here with the GeForce Racing Leagues and GForce TV. here tonight. Riding along with the number 2 machine, Matthew Croakey, out here on the Speedway. And slips up off the top of turn number 4. So easy to do here, Scotty, as that racetrack, it's tough over there in turn number 4, especially when it gets slick. That's what I think is going to be interesting about a 75-lap feature tonight, Scotty, with these Pro Late models. They're going to wear this racetrack out from bottom to top and then some.
Well, Sean, I mean, if you look at like out here in the real world with the Lucas Oil late models and the World Outlaw late models, some of the features they do are, anywhere from 75 to 100 lap features, and the track gets extremely slicked off. So it's going to be interesting to see some of the strategy with these guys. Are they going to use the same strategies as, saving their tires for, the last half of the race to move forward? Or are we going to see some guys move forward and then maybe, I don't know, maybe walk away with it? You don't know. And especially at this track, Sean, we've seen this track before. This track can be a tough one to navigate when it is slick. And also, if you look around the outside, coming off of turn number 1 and all the way to turn 4, there's no wall. There's no wall in turn 2, the backstretch, or turn 3. And if you get caught too high coming off of 4, you'll hit a wall right there on the front stretch.
Absolutely. A lot of people are afraid of concrete walls. They don't want to be up there next to a wall, and they're afraid they're going to hit one. On iRacing, at least, when, there is no pain for hitting anything, nor does it cost you money for tearing up a race car. I prefer racing next to a wall. It'll save your bacon when you send her in there too much and kind of hold you in. Not here at Lernerville. You slip off the top of the racetrack, you're going to lose a lot of spots. The other thing these drivers are going to have to take care of in the event here tonight, Scotty, and we see it so much here in iRacing, is they got to take care of their cars, and if they bend up the sheet metal, particularly the right rear quarter and whatnot, that's when you start to see these cars really slow down from the damage on them. So that's going to be interesting and something we're going to have to watch here tonight. And so these drivers are going to have to mind their P's and Q's, so to speak, and make sure to keep their car nice and square for these late models. Looks like the drivers' meeting is going on. And so we've got just a few minutes before we roll into qualifications here tonight. Tip of the cap to all of the drivers registering for the events this week. We've got 34 drivers have taken a time here already in this practice. So, yeah, we got a lot of cars here tonight, Scotty. And this is just the start. And to be in the event tonight, it's $10 per class or $20 to register for the 3 events this week that they can register and pay for. So we've got the Pro Late Models and the 360 Sprints tonight in our doubleheader. On Thursday night, Dirt Modifieds, the 358 Dirt Modifieds, they're going to have a 100-lap feature event on Thursday night. That's 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. And then Wednesday night, that is the Veterans Showdown race itself. Veterans get to race that one for free, and it's all veterans on Wednesday night for the Veterans Showdown here with the GeForce Racing Leagues on GeForce TV. You can catch all the action right here on GeForce Esports on YouTube. And if you're here watching, make sure to give the page a like so you know every single time that we go live with a broadcast. So make sure to do that. Still practice going on here at the Lernerville Speedway. Good crowd up on hand. And hey, look at the sky. Nice and blue. Perfectly clear sky here, Scotty. Uh-oh, things are changing. Guess what, Scotty? It's time for qualifying.
That it is. Track conditions just changed, and wow, they really reworked the track quick there. Imagine that. If only we could have that out here in the real world. Qualifying here tonight for these Pro Late models. Quick timer tonight. Sean, correct me if I'm wrong, but quick timer will start 4th in heat number 1.
You got it.
Okay, so we are sticking with regular format. Perfect. So quick timer tonight will start in position number 4 in heat number 1. Second will be heat number 2, so on and so forth like that. And I'm seeing a name at the bottom of my screen here, Sean, a guy we have yet to see this season. That is a 77 of Bobby Rafferty, or 717, excuse me, of Bobby Rafferty. Winners get whiskey.
Yeah.
And great back out here in a very good-looking black and blue late model.
Yeah, so there you see him. His fistful of bourbon, car 717. Kind of see him. We're skipping around here. Oh, boy. A lot of late models on the track right now. That is the bottom line here. I think there's 30-some late models qualifying, so hang with us here. They'll come back. There's a lot going on the racetrack. Joe Halter right now is quick time at a 14:75. Nick King, Bobby Rafferty, Jesse Atkinson, and Field Miller in the top 5. Now Lance Ripka is going to jump up to that 5th spot at a 14:87. So time's coming in fast and furious here. Already in qualifications tonight for these pro late models. Just saw Nicholas Vickery shoot into the top 10 on the left side of the screen on the tower.
Even Goldner in the 30 car as well. And Field Miller, we're used to seeing him in a big block modified, Sean. I cannot wait to see what that Carolina T Company 677 looks like on a late model. And we have Vickery, Goldner, Miller, Smith, and Spies, your bottom half of the top 10. Ripka, Atkinson, Rafferty, King, and Halter still your top 5 here in qualifying tonight.
Looks like Steven Spies just shot up to 6th. Chris Sabeski jumped up to 7th, and Lane Snook into the 8th spot right now in qualifications for these late models. There's Lane Snook in his number 23 machine. So, looks like things starting to quiet down a little bit here. Still some more drivers out there on the clock, including Connor Ross. Aiden Young is out there. He's just burning laps to practice right now. Kyle Moonen out there. I think he's doing the same. So, looks like we're just about got the field in.
Lane Snook. Oh, car upside down.
Just
what we talked about. Just what we talked about. You do not want to do. Lane Snook, 9th quickest here so far, Sean, and he actually had some success this past weekend out in the go-kart world, picking up a win this past weekend.
Oh.
So the 12-year-old driver there out of Pennsylvania.
It still blows my mind just how talented they can be at such a young age. I was calling a race Friday night, Scotty. Rock Rapids Property Solutions of America Midwest Sprint Touring Series, and we had a 14-year-old driver in the field. And what made that funny is in that same race, there was a driver by the name of Chuck McGilvery. He's a member of the Houston Speedway Hall of Fame, and I'm not going to give away his age, and I didn't give it away Friday night. I just told, there's the 14-year-old driver was starting last on the field, and Chuck McGilvery was starting first, and he was 54 years the elder of the driver starting at the back. So that's cool, and that's something really cool about these GeForce Racing Leagues. You've got a very, very big mix of ages and talent levels, and it's a lot of fun to be part of these GeForce Racing Leagues.
That for sure. And Chuck, he's been racing a lot of years over in the South Dakota region there, all over by you, Sean, I should say, and driver out of Madison, South Dakota, the 101, Mr. Cool, they call it.
Yeah.
So I've picked up a few things being around sprint cars for a while now. So, no, great to see Chuck still wheeling a 410 car, by the way. And the rookie, is it okay if I can ask what the rookie's name was? Or?
Oh, I'd have to remember it right off the top of my head if you were going to ask. Oh.
Well.
It'll come to me. Give me like 8 seconds. Tyler Rabenberg. Tyler out of Princeton, Minnesota was the 14-year-old rookie. So yeah, that was pretty cool to see. This week's racing also made part and possible by a whole bunch of great sponsors: Velocity Race Design, Phantom Motorworks, Gambler Motorsports, Kreitz Sim Racing, Spartan Racing, VMR Wraps, Epsilon Sprint Wraps, and A&J Custom Creations. Of course, Andy Patton at A&J Custom Creations. He'll be doing the trophies for all the winners. Top 3 in the feature, they'll be entered into a $50 draw. The Hard Charger gets a free wrap from VMR or Epsilon Sprint Wraps. And all participants this week, they'll be entered into a drawing for 4 separate $25 gift cards. How cool is that? All right, Scotty, we are just about set to go. Let's take a quick look at the results from qualifying here tonight. As they go official in heat race number 1, heading to the staging area. Joe Halter picks up quick time at a 14:751. Nick King, Bobby Rafferty, Jesse Atkinson, Lance Ripka, the top 5. Moon and Spies, Sabeski, Snook, and Smith in the top 10. As we'll look at the next batch as they'll come through your screen, and heat race number 1 just about getting set to roll on to the Lernerville Speedway. Scotty, let's take a look at the starting lineup.
That's going to see Nicholas Vickery, that 00 car, sitting on the pole and to the outside, the 23 of Lane Snook.
Second row on the inside, the 125, it's Lance Ripka, and next to him, the 220 of Joe Halter.
Starting inside of row number 3, that is Andy Persifield in the 175 into the outside, the 513 of Jeff Barker.
We'll go to the 4th row where we find the 14 of G.J. Boydell on the inside. Outside, the number 36, that's Barry Goldner.
And Jeffrey Kemper, the 181, starting shotgun on the field here in heat race number 1.
That is your starting lineup. The distance is 8 laps on our heat races here tonight. The top 4 going to qualify directly for tonight's A feature. Outside of the top 4, it's consolation action. So definitely in your best interest to get to the front in these. And of course, starting positions. The further forward you finish, the better off you are. Nice looking cars there. Nicholas Vickery, Nicholas Vickery, and it is Lance Ripka. Got some special paint schemes going on for our Salute to Veterans Week, and we are set for the green as we come off turn number 4.
Yes, and Sean, I see a Blair Nordiff lookalike car out there as well. You'll know what I'm talking about as we take him in a 1 and 2. Lane Snook up on the high side by side with Vickery, though, as they come down the backstretch into turn number 3. Track looking good, weather looking good. Lane Snook's going to lead lap number 1.
Watch, though, as the 220 of Joe Halter, your quick timer, coming through the field, and he's got his eyes on that 23 of Lane Snook. Snook tries to pull him down the back straightaway. This happening right in front of Nicholas Vickery. Lance Ripka right now running into 4th and final transfer spot right in front of the 513 of Jeff Barker. But it's still Lane Snook showing the way.
Halter tried to pull side by side with Snook off turn number 2 there. Could not get it done, but as he does that, Vickery trying to pull side by side with Halter for position number 2. Vickery's been having some great runs in some other divisions here for the GForce Racing League. Currently sits in 3rd, I believe, top 4 transferring to the A here tonight. The 125 of Ripka currently in the hot seat in that 4th and final transfer.
So we go on board with Nicholas Vickery in the 00 machine as he runs in 3rd. You see your top 2 drivers right there in front of him. The high side, the place to be right now at the Lernerville Speedway with a good bit of moisture, still kicking up the dust off the red clay, but yeah, they are ripping around this racetrack as Halter takes a look to the inside of Lane Snook.
Take a look to the inside, but nothing doing. As he'll take a look to the inside this time through turns 3 and 4. Nothing doing as well. Here comes Vickery, though. Vickery trying to slide up, cannot complete the slider. Lane Snook still with the race lead.
So Snook, Halter, Vickery, and Ripka in the transfer spots as the white flag comes out. Final lap of our opening heat race tonight on the Veterans Showdown Week. And it is still Lane Snook. Hey, we're at Lernerville. That's in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is this young man's home state, so he'll do some home cooking tonight. Lane Snook wins heat race number 1. Halter crosses 2nd, Vickery 3rd, and Lance Ripka will get a transfer spot to the show tonight in the 125, finishing in position number 4. Look at your results as they go official for heat race number 1. You see Lane Snook, Joe Halter, Nicholas Vickery, and Lance Ripka. As we mentioned, they're going to the show. Jeff Barker was 5th, Andy Piercefield was 6th, Jeffrey Kemper 7th, Barry Goldner 8th, and G.J. Boydell finished in 9th. Heat race number 2 in the staging area. This one has the 35. It's Connor Ross in the pole position. Andrew Smith in the 79 outside of row 1.
Inside of row 2, the 24 car of Kyle Moonen, and to his outside, the 43, that is Nick King.
John Hine, he'll line up 5th on the grid. That's the number 71 machine. And the Phantom Motorsports 55 of Robert Satterfield. He'll line up outside row 3.
Inside of row 4, the 69 car of Aiden Young, to his outside, that's going to see the 5, Donovan Ross.
Chris Whipple in the 81. He'll line up 9th and shotgun on the field. That is the starting grid here for heat race number 2 tonight for the Veterans Showdown Pro Late Models here at the Lernerville Speedway. As you take a look at Connor Ross up there on the pole with Andrew Smith outside of him. Special paint schemes for Spartan Racing. All their cars matching. They look pretty cool. Got the stars and stripes on the right side. Got the maple leaf on the left. Nice touch, guys. Very nice.
Very nice looking indeed. Spartan Racing has always had good looking race cars, though, Sean.
Absolutely. You know what? There are a lot of really good-looking race cars all across the GForce Racing Leagues as the field is formed up behind the pace vehicle and getting set for a green flag off of turn number 4. Connor Ross is setting the pace in that 35 machine, ready to crack open this field. 8 laps, top 4 go to the A.
Green flag comes out. We are underway. Oh, man, look at the start by Andrew Smith on the outside as Ross to the inside of the racetrack. Almost 4 deep through turns 1 and 2.
Ooh.
Ross gets the jump. Here comes Smith, though, along the outside, tiptoeing, allowing that top side of the racetrack. Coming to the line, though, it will be Smith leading lap number 1.
It is getting business picking up, I would say, here at heat race number 2. Connor Ross stuck on the bottom of the racetrack. Here comes Robert Satterfield to his outside. Satterfield up to the 3rd spot, right behind Nick King, and Andrew Smith shows the way with 2 laps in and 6 laps remaining.
King takes a look to the bottom side of the racetrack, going to try to slide up, and Smith getting on the binders to avoid contact. Here comes the 55 of Satterfield in a second. Now Smith, who was the outside pole sitter, slips back. A little bit of contact as we complete lap number 3. 5 laps to go here in heat race number 2.
Kyle Moonen trying to come through the field. He and the 35 of Connor Ross, little tussle there in turn number 1. Here comes Aiden Young into that mix. 3 cars racing, but right now they are out of a transfer spot because John Hine in the 71, he's got the final transfer spot. Robert Satterfield and the 79 of Smith racing off of turn number 2. And here comes John Hine into that mix as they sail into turn number 3.
Rubbing is racing as Satterfield and Smith make contact on the backstretch in turn 3 and 4. John Hine is cruising. That Cruise Shop 71 car currently holding 4th, trying to gain a little bit of insurance as Satterfield and Smith again making contact off turn number 2. Hine caught right in the middle now, going to try to split the difference almost 3 deep off turn 4.
Down the front straightaway and into turn number 1 as it is getting tight out here for these drivers. Connor Ross trying to climb his way back into a transfer spot in that 35 machine. They'll head down into turn 3 and off of turn number 4. Still anybody's guess who's going to be the transfer cars as the white flag flies.
White flag flies. King is out in front, though, almost a 3-second lead for that 43 car. Number 43 and his last name just happens to be King. He will pick up the checkered flag here. It's going to be Andrew Smith in second, John Hine third, Satterfield your 4th and final transfer, with Connor Ross, the 35 car, rounding out your top 5.
That was very astute of you there, Scotty. I don't know if I would have picked up on that, but that was good. That was good. Here's your results from heat race number 2 here tonight. King, Smith, Hines, Satterfield, they are your transfers. Connor Ross, Kyle Moonen, Aiden Young, Chris Whipple, and Donovan Ross. They've got some consolation racing to do here right around the corner. Heat race number 3 in the staging area. Scotty, let's take a look at the grid.
That is going to see the top 2 guys in the big block modified division. Kyle Parker, the 013, starting on the pole to his outside, the 677 of Field Miller.
Steven Spees, the 55 machine, lines up inside row number 2. Bobby Rafferty on his outside in the 717.
Inside of row number 3 in the 97, it's Kyle Goldner. And to the outside, the 17 car of Daniel Blau.
Josh Gerlach going to start inside the 4th row. He drives the 071. Terry Landis, the Kreitz Racing 661, starting 8th.
And starting shotgun, I don't know if he's officiating or racing, but either way, the 747 of Roger Craig.
I think he's officiating, but you know what? He may have changed his mind and jumped out there. I was tempted. This event was open to anybody, and I thought, ooh, maybe, nah. I better leave this up to the better drivers than me to race on this one. But great cause here this week, and again, you can go to GForceRL.com and you can contribute to the great charity causes we've got going on here this week. Supporting the DAV here in the States and north of the border, supporting the great mission of Soldier On. And you can make those donations at GForceRL.com.
So Spartan Racing once again will have the front row. Yes, they do have very good looking cars, Sean. At least they have, their numbers are different colors, so we can tell them apart who's who. So normally that 677 has Carolina Tea Company on it, of Field Miller, and also Kyle Parker. Usually black and gold, but a different look here for both those cars tonight. Those 2 guys dominated last season for the inaugural season of the Epsilon Sprint Wraps Big Block Modifieds. And here they are driving pro late models tonight, and will lead your field through turns 3 and 4, coming to the green, Sean.
Green about to come out. It waves. We are underway. Third heat race of the night with 4 transfer spots up for grabs as they all rush them on down through 1 and 2. Kyle Parker going to grab the initial lead side by side. Spees and Miller for the second spot. Here comes Bobby Rafferty in the 717 on the high line. He'll run in the 4th spot with 1 lap in, 7 to go.
Here in heat race number 3 already, Sean, as the 17 car, Blau tried to dip way to the inside. The top side starting to slick off just a little bit as it was top side dominant in the first 2 races. The middle is starting to come around, though, as you see the 55 of Spees using that middle line. Parker, still your race leader side by side for second between Miller and Spees, and Rafferty is sitting in on that 4th and final transfer.
Here they come off of turn number 4, and you can see just how close they are down the straightaway, not just to each other, but also that front stretch wall. And, you know, I think that wall will probably get scraped up a little bit here tonight as well. No worse for the wear on these late models as we continue on here in this heat race. Bobby Rafferty right now, final transfer spot in the 717 as Kyle Goldner dipped off the racetrack in turn number 4, nearly 3 deep as they race in turn 2.
Great race here from your top 4, starting to break away from the rest of the field. 4th place running 717 of Rafferty, about a little over a second and a half distance between him and 6th place, or 5th place running, excuse me, of Daniel Blau. Once again, Steven Spees running to the inside of the 677 of Field Miller as we see 2 laps to go, this time off turn 4.
That's going to allow the 717 of Bobby Rafferty to get a run. He'll go to the top, but he can't quite get there as the 55 of Spees continues to work the lower line. Still side by side for the second spot as the white flag flies on heat race number 3. It's Kyle Parker showing the way.
Kyle Parker still showing the way one more time around Lernerville Speedway. Look at Spees, though. He had the run through the corner, but could not get the exit that he needed one last time here through 3 and 4. It is going to be Kyle Parker picking up the win. Field Miller in second, Spees in third, and Rafferty will come home in that 4th and final transfer spot.
Some good racing there in heat race number 3. We'll take a look at your official results here from that heat race as heat race number 4 starts to assemble over in the staging area. Heat race number 3. There's the results. Kyle Parker by just under 0.2 of a second over Miller, Spees, Rafferty, Blau, Gerlach, Landis, Goldner. They're heading to some consolation action. Heat race number 4 in the staging area. Scotty, here's the lineup on this one. Matthew Croakey, the Phantom Motorsports number 2. He'll line up on the pole. Steven Goldner next to him in the number 30.
Inside row number 2, Chris Sebeski is going to be the 21 car to the inside, and Jesse Atkinson in the 135 to the outside.
Third row has Steven Fernberg, the 29 machine on the inside. Outside, the SPGC 3D printing car number 14. The pilot of that car is Tom Taylor.
Inside of your 4th and final row is going to see Jack Clevenger in the 33, and to the outside, the 10, that is Bruce Hilton.
That'll be the grid. 8 laps will be the distance. 4 going to transfer out of this one into the big show here tonight as the field forms up behind that iRacing pace truck.
So we got Barney in the flag stand. We need to come up with a name for the pace truck.
Oh, it's Wally. Wally.
So we are carrying that over. Okay, it is Wally.
Yeah, I mean, you're not. There's no pace truck driver more famous than the Knoxville Raceway pace truck driver, Wally Price. So we're gonna go with Wally.
Fair enough. Wally it is.
Barney and Wally. That's all you got to know.
As we're going to come in at turns 3 and 4 here, Croakey Goldner will lead them. Heat race number 4 about to go green. Green is out and we're underway.
Pace picks up as they run them on down into turn number 1. We'll see what this heat race has in store after a dynamic heat 3. Croakey out to the early lead. Goldner in second. Atkinson. And right now, Tom Taylor, that 14 machine, he's pushing like a dump truck getting into turn 3, but he's got the final transfer spot as Jack Clevenger works the bottom of the speedway.
Boy, Atkinson was flirting with disaster on lap 1 there. Did you see how high he was on that backstretch? Still kind of flirting with it as Tom Taylor works the middle side of the racetrack and pushing again in the 14 car, but still holding on that 4th and final transfer spot. But for how long? As here comes Fernberg in the 29, but he pushes through turns 1 and 2. 3 deep for 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Yeah, it looks like Taylor is up to the 3rd spot. Somebody slipped off the track. Matthew Croakey had trouble. He fell off the racetrack. He was your leader. He fell off the track so quickly we didn't even see it happen. He has dropped to the 8th spot. So Jesse Atkinson is your leader, but Stephen Goldner coming after him as he gets the 30 machine loose. And now we've got a battle for that transfer spot. Clevenger and Fernberg side by side for the 4th and final transfer position.
Clevenger snaps that car, and it turns 1 and 2 on the bottom side, and it works for him. As Fernberg, Tom Taylor, little too hot coming into turns 3 and 4. That shakes the field up once again. Clevenger in 3rd, Fernberg now that 4th and final transfer spot. Atkinson still leading this race, and Goldner in 2nd.
Wow, this has been action-packed, to say the least, here in heat race number 4. There you see Jesse Atkinson, your race leader. Stephen Goldner in position number 2. Running there with him down into turn number 3. Let's go on board the 3-time Renegade Series champion out of Ontario, Canada. He'll head down into turn number 1. You see the hands on the right side of the screen. He's doing a lot of work inside that car, Scotty, as we make our way to turn number 4.
That he is. He's got that car a little bit on the looser side, but kind of what you want in heat races here for that car to slide through the corners. Probably going to have to tighten it up just a little bit here coming on later in the feature, but Atkinson will be your winner here in the 135. Goldner in 2nd, the 30 car, Clevenger in 3rd, and Sabaski picking up the 4th and final transfer spot to the A feature here tonight.
Yeah, what a wild heat race number 4 that was. Your official results here as you take a look at them. Atkinson, Goldner, Clevenger, Sabeski get the transfer spots. It'll cycle. It'll be fine. Stephen Fernberg, Bruce Hilton, Matthew Croakey, and Tom Taylor. They're going to run some consolation action. And speaking of consolation, the B main on the racetrack right now. Let's take a look here at the grid for this one. It is Jeffrey Kemper on the pole position. He drives the 181. Aiden Young next to him in car number 69.
Harry Landis in the 661 to the inside of row 2 to the outside. The 2 car of Matthew Croakey.
3rd row, Barry Goldner inside the 36. Chris Whipple outside of him in the 081.
Inside of row 4, Kyle Goldner in the 97, and Tom Taylor the 14 to the outside.
And G.J. Boydell, he'll line up 9th, and your 10th starter is Donovan Ross in car number 5. This is your C feature tonight for these late models. Yes, I said C.
I thought, well, C for consolation, I guess, so.
C, as in yes, for the C feature.
D for consolation, and B trying to be better to make the A for effort, right?
Something like that, yeah. I think I might have been in a K feature one time in the RC racing world. I had a terrible week at a big race. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad.
I used to figure 8 race, and I thought being in the E feature was bad. You're telling me K feature. I feel a little bit better about myself now.
Maybe it's F. I don't know. It was bad. No matter what it was bad. C main, somebody's night's going to get better right here. We're going to transfer 4. I do believe we transfer 4. I'm not 100% certain, though, Scotty, on this one. So we are green on this one. Tell you what, you get out front, you win this thing. We know you're going on to the B main.
Absolutely, as Aiden Young plans to do just that here on lap number 1. But Sean, the middle to bottom side starting to come in. Track starting to slick off up top as we are seeing some cars way too loose coming through the corners on the top side.
Yeah, and it is fixed setup here tonight. So, there's not a lot you can do to help your car. This is one of those races, you got what you got, and you got to go make it work. In the 360 sprints later tonight, it is open setup. So that'll be a big difference between this show and the one coming up at the conclusion of this one as the C main continues on, looking at the Yoo-Hoo 661 of Terry Landis trying to fend off Jeffrey Kemper in the 181. That's the race for second. Here comes Matthew Croakey into the mix in the 2 car.
Yeah, these fixed setups will definitely bring the driver out and test your skills and limits here on these fixed setups. These pro late models. Aiden Young still your race leader. Terry Landis second. Kemper running third. Croaky running fourth as Kemper to the inside of Landis here off turn number 2. The inside rear quarter panel, and GJ Boydell slid Matthew Croaky off turn number 2. They make contact in 3 and 4 though. Boydell around, and he's hung up on the tractor tire there. We are still green, though, through this C feature consolation.
So Matthew Croaky into the 4th spot. Terry Landis runs 3rd. Kemper in the 2nd spot. And Aiden Young, well, he's 1.4 seconds ahead of the rest of the field, and he is seeing some lap traffic not too far in front of him. He's also about to see a white flag. Aiden Young, the Young Guns car number 69, taking the white flag.
Big on a white flag is a 69 car of Young. Lap traffic looming in front of him, but will not be a factor here in this consolation feature action. 69 car looking to do better, and he will by putting it in the B feature here tonight. Running some alphabet soup will be Young, Kemper, Landis, and Croaky, your top 4. Tom Taylor rounding out your top 5.
So C-Main into the books, and you see them coming across the finish line there. Tough break there for GJ Boydell. He was coming through the field, had made his way, he had started 9th, and he had made his way up there into the top 4, and then an incident, and he gets bumped back. So tough break for him. We transferred 4 of them from the C to the B. This B-Main is going to transfer 8 to give us our 24-car field here tonight for the main event. Let's take a look at the starting grid on the B-Main here tonight.
It's going to be Jeffrey Bark, the 513 car, starting on the pole to the outside, the 35 of Connor Ross.
Row 2, Daniel Blau, the 17, and Steven Fernberg in car number 29.
Row 3, Andy Piercefield on the 175 to the inside, Kyle Moonen, 24 to the outside.
Josh Gerlach, the 71. Dizzy Motorsports starting 7th on the grid. And Bruce Hilton in car number 10. He is your 8th starter.
Well, we go around in circles, don't we? Inside of row 5 is the 69 of Aiden Young to the outside. The other transferee, the 181 of Jeffrey Kemper.
Terry Landis in the 661, and Matthew Croaky going to try to keep their soup spoons full here as we go into the B-Main. Top 8 go to the A feature here tonight at the conclusion of this one. Looks like 8 laps will be the distance on this B-Main. As you see Barney on the flag stand looking him over, we'll get the green off of turn number 4.
Great night here at Lernerville, Sean. Great week here, actually, here for the GeForce Racing League. The start of the Veteran Showdown for the Salute to Veterans Week here at the GeForce Racing Leagues. Thank you all for tuning in here on GeForce Esports here on YouTube. Be sure to give the page a like, punch that notification bell, hit the subscribe button. We're about to go green here with our B feature, and green is out. We are underway.
Heading them on down into turn number 1. Daniel Blau hiked the left front up on the bottom of the speedway as Connor Ross rips the top side. And Ross runs in the 2nd spot, all behind Jeff Barker, who leads off 513. Now 3 wide off the corner. And deeper in the field, the 29 of Steven Fernberg around off of turn number 4. He'll correct it and get going as he still has a chance on this one. Connor Ross has taken the lead in the 35.
That he has, but just as you speak, Sean, slide job. Oh my goodness, double slide job there. Piercefield tried to get in there in the 175. Jeffrey Barker back on point. Blau running 2nd. Now Ross shuffled back to 3rd. 4th is going to be Kyle Moonen, and Piercefield battling it out with Gerlach for that 5th place spot.
Here's Daniel Blau and Jeff Barker racing for the lead. Gave it to Blau in the 17 machine. Here comes Barker back after him. Barker struggling in 1 and 2, but pretty quick on the other end of the speedway. He's found that lower line to his liking in 3 and 4, but this time Blau is going to prevail, and he'll lead by the stripe halfway in this B-Main. Here comes that 24 of Kyle Moonen working the bottom of the speedway. Looks like he's getting more comfortable with his car as the laps click on.
As the laps click on, indeed, Blau still your race leader as Jeffrey Barker has had great runs down to the middle side of the racetrack. Blau changing his line now down to the middle as well. And we see Ross and Moonen through there. Barker up top. Running in that 5th is Gerlach as Piercefield has been shuffled all the way back to 10th. top 8 here transfer. That is Blau, Barker, Ross, Moonen, Gerlach, Landis, Hilton, and Croakey, your current transferees, with coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go, Sean.
So Matthew Croakey and Terry Landis both from the C in a transfer spot in the B. They might just do it here tonight and get all the way to the A main. Meanwhile, Kyle Moon and Connor Ross are going to race for 3rd on this final lap out front. Here comes Jeff Barker after Daniel Blau. Final set of turns. Blau to the checkered flag. He'll win the Veterans Showdown B main here tonight for the GForce Racing Leagues and a hotly contested B feature event. So some good racing in the books already here tonight, Scotty, and what is a big night here for the GForce Racing Leagues. We started with a lot of cars, and now we've got it whittled down to 24 cars for tonight's main event. We will have an opportunity to check that out here in a matter of moments. Right now, though, fans, stay tuned right here. We have a special presentation from the GForce Racing Leagues as we take a look and salute some of the veterans who are part of the GForce Racing Leagues.
Sim Racing.
From the one and only Gambler Motorsports Racing Team.
From Phantom Motorsports.
From GForce Racing Leagues.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Welcome back to the Lernerville Speedway. Yes, a very big thank you to all of our brave men and women in our armed services as we salute you this week, heading up into the Memorial Day holiday this coming Monday. Thank you all for your services. Thank you all for tuning in here tonight for the GForce Racing Leagues. Cars making their way around the track, Scotty, and we're not too far away from getting into the feature event. Your thoughts on the track so far and these setups for these late models?
You know, we have pick setups here tonight, Sean, and that really brings the driver out, testing the skills and the car limits on how well they can drive these cars, especially with a track like Lernerville here. We have 75 laps here in this A feature tonight, and the track is all ready to start to slick off pretty good here through the corners, a little bit on the top and the straightaways, but not as much. Halfway through this race, I predict this track will be a complete dry slick, and then it's all going to come down to throttle control and hold tight and hang on.
You know, when you get to that stage as well, Scotty, it seems like it really pays off to keep your car straight, not sideways in the corners. It's so tempting to sail it in there as hard as you can into the corner, but we see it time and time again. The drivers who can really get their cars settled in and keep them straight when the track really transitions to that slick, those are the drivers that really seem to prevail late in the stages of long races like we're going to experience here tonight.
It's fun to slide through the corners. I speak as a former driver, don't get me wrong, but you're going to want to tighten the car up just a little bit and drive through the corners. Don't tighten it up too much, though. But, you know, and then you're wondering, how can you tighten up a car on a fixed setup? Well, like I said, throttle control and braking does a lot for the car's handling, especially through the corners and down the front stretch. If you get a dry slick, especially on the front stretch, you hit that gas too much, it will put you sideways. And going through the corners, if you hit the brakes too much, it'll put you sideways as well.
Yeah, so it is going to be all-out control here for all of these drivers if they want to prevail in this long, long feature event that is less than a minute away from staging out there on the speedway. As Steven Goldner takes it pit side, he'll park it in his stall. Everyone taking their cars pit side. They're going to get a last moment to stretch out. Scotty, when you were a racer, did you have any like last-minute rituals inside your car?
I would always pray in staging. Sitting in staging, I would pray before every race. Didn't matter if it was hot laps, didn't matter if it was heat race or feature. I always said a prayer to the good Lord above to not only keep me safe, but the rest of my comrades and behind the wheel safe, and the crews and fans. But most importantly, Lord, please let me have fun.
I love it. Very nice, Scotty. As we are just about set, your first feature event of this Veteran Showdown week here on GeForce Racing Leagues and GeForce TV. They're about to head to the staging area. Here is tonight's starting lineup. On the pole, in car number 23, it is Lane Snook, and next to him, in the 43, it's Nick King.
Row 2 is going to see the 013 of Kyle Parker. To his outside, the 135, Jesse Atkinson.
Joe Halter lines up inside the third row. That's the number 220. Andrew Smith in the 79 is your sixth starter.
Your seventh starter is going to be the 677 of Field Miller. To his outside, that's the number 30 car of Steven Goldner.
To the fifth row on the inside, it's Nicholas Vickery in car number 00. And next to him, it's John Hine in car 71.
Starting 11th here tonight is the 055 of Steven Spees. To his outside, the 33 of Jack Clevenger. He'll start 12th.
Moving to the seventh row on the inside, that's the number 13 starting spot. The 125 is the car number. The driver is Lance Ripka. Robert Satterfield will line up on the outside of the seventh row. He's in car 55.
The 717 Fistful of Bourbon of Bobby Rafferty will start 15th here tonight inside of your eighth row. And to the outside, Chris Sabaski in the 21.
Daniel Blau in the 17 car. He starts in position 17. Jeff Barker next to him in the 513.
Your 10th row is going to see the 24 car of Kyle Moonen, and to the outside, the 35 of Connor Ross.
Behind them, it's Josh Gerlach starting 21st. Starting 22nd will be Terry Landis in the 661.
Your 12th and final row sees Bruce Hilton in the 10 car to the inside and Matthew Croakey, the 2 to the outside.
24 cars, 75 laps here tonight at the Lernerville Speedway. Oh boy, this is going to be a big one here. Is trying to catch up with everything, trying to get it all to work and look good. We'll see what we can do here as the field makes their way towards the starting line here in turn number 4. We're getting set for a green here for the first Veterans Salute to Veterans event, and we are looking for the green, Scotty.
That we are. King and Snook are going to be trading spots here through turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch, Lane Snook with the race lead.
Yeah, Snook out to the lead. Scotty, I had to cut off the video to you there as I think we're overpowering everything going on here. And I hear a whole bunch of crashing going on this opening lap, and we've got a bunch of trouble out here on the speedway. Yellow is out. Yellow is out on the track.
That is A-okay, Sean. When the stream goes down, we have live timing.
Absolutely, absolutely. We'll get things caught up here and looking better for our viewers at home. As yeah, I think something with these late models must have updated, and it's overpowering the system. That's no bueno, no bueno. I'll shake my fist at it. But we are under yellow early on in this one. Caution flags do count, by the way, in these long feature events here this week. So you're going to see the laps continue to tick here under the yellow. Again, a big thank you to the sponsors for making this week possible. Velocity Race Design, Phantom Motorworks, Gambler Motorsports, Krite Sim Racing, Spartan Racing, VMR Wraps, Epsilon Sprint Wraps, A&J Custom Creations. Thank you to each and every one of them. Top 3 finishers, they'll be entered into a drawing for $50 here tonight. The Hard Charger, from this one, they'll get a free wrap from either VMR Wraps or Epsilon Sprint Wraps. They're both great supporters of the GeForce Racing Leagues. And all participants going to be entered into 4 drawings for a $25 gift card. So some cool stuff here with the GeForce Racing Leagues as we go under the yellow early on in this Pro Late Model A feature event. Lane Snook showing the way here early on. Jesse Atkinson right there with him in the 135 as the field bunches up here in turn 2, getting set for that restart in turn 4, Scotty.
Getting set indeed as, like I said, Snook and Atkinson. Leading them, Parker in third, Smith fourth, Field Miller, your current top 5. 5 laps down out of our 75-lap feature here as we are back to green. Snook and Atkinson lead them in turns 1 and 2.
Now they'll race themselves off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway towards turn number 3. Oh, I apologize. This is not looking good, but we'll see if we can settle it down. I am trying to change things in behind the scenes here, folks. So stay here with us. Stay with us. Bear with me here for a couple minutes as I hear a couple more cars crashing down the front straightaway. Lane Snook and Jesse Atkinson are racing it out for the lead. Out front, Lane Snook has it. Atkinson coming after him as there you see the 135 of Atkinson for a moment. Kyle Parker up to that 3rd spot in the 13.
Parker up to the 3rd spot. Miller right behind him. 2 teammates running 3rd and 4th. Andrew Smith into the top 5. John High in the 71 car running 6th. Satterfield, King, Golder, and Spees currently your top 10. But it is 12-year-old 23 car of Lane Snook still with the race lead.
We're going to try to get you guys a little more detail here as you bear with me, please, as we work here on everything, trying to get you a little bit better view of everything going on the track as you get to watch the behind-the-scenes work going on there for a little bit. See the lead there for Atkinson now, about 0.4 of a second over Snook in position number 2. As, well, we were better there for about a half second. See if we can get another look here over things settling in just a little bit. Boy, I have to apologize. This is not going well.
What I can tell you, Atkinson has taken over the lead from Lane Snook. Snook has been shuffled back to 2nd. Parker and Miller still running 3 and 4. Hines still your top 5. 13 laps into this 75-lap feature here at Lernerville. Snook almost falling back to about 0.4 of a second here in position number 2. Almost a second now as Atkinson trying to extend his race lead in 135. Meanwhile, deeper on in the field, John Halter, your quick timer tonight, up to 14th position. Caution flag coming out here. Our 2nd caution here tonight.
Yeah.
On
tell you
lap
what,
15 of 75.
Tell you what we're going to do right here, Scotty, with the caution over the speedway. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to change some settings here in the background and try to bring you some of the action. We're 15 laps in. Stay with us. You're watching GeForce Racing Leagues.
It all starts with the right house. That's where we come in. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
people want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today, we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Cool-Ray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
From finding the perfect house to making it your home, we'll be with you every step of the way. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
Back here at the Lernerville Speedway, where the cars are under the caution 1/3 of the way through this feature event here tonight on the Salute to Veterans Week, Veterans Showdown Week, as Lane Snook has reclaimed the lead in front of Jesse Atkinson as they've been battling it out from the drop of the green here tonight. We are under the caution for the 4th time in this main, and the field going to, well, I think they're waiting for the pace truck here as they're plenty slow here on the racetrack. But we are, I think, in better position than we were a few minutes ago, Scotty. We'll see what happens here, but I think we're sitting better here on our end, trying to get the best view possible for our fans here tonight.
Like you said, Sean, under the 4th caution here, 1/3 of the way through. Currently on lap 26 of 75. Caution laps do count here tonight for this 75 lap feature. Right after this, ladies and gentlemen, stick around. We will be going live right after this with some sprint car action from Lernerville as well here, as the Veterans Showdown we could be just beginning here for Monday Night Madness for the Salute to Veterans Week. A big thank you to all of our sponsors once again, putting on not only tonight but this week as well. Velocity Race Design, Phantom Motorsports, Gambler Motorsports, Crete Sim Racing, Spartan Racing, Esports, VMR Wraps, Epsilon Sprint Wraps, and A&J Custom Creations. A&J Custom Creations will be providing trophies to all of the
So just about set for the restart
winners
here. Oh, there you are, Scotty. I lost you for a minute. And back to green, and no, we're still got trouble on my end. This is 100% issues on my end here, Scotty. Lane Snook, your leader. Kyle Parker into that 2nd spot in the 13 machine as Jesse Atkinson tries to come back after him. Well, we've got a scoring ticker. That's about all we've got on this broadcast right now. This is... Oh, somebody is outside turn number 4. Yellow is back out, back under the caution in this one. Now I think we even lost Scotty. So with the yellow back out, let's go ahead. We'll take another break here. We'll come back. We'll try to get you more racing action here from the Lernerville Speedway.
I love being home. It all starts with the right house. That's where we come in. Howard Hanna. I love home happens here. Being home.
People want to have a one-stop shop. They need us for now all these different services, not just the heating and air side.
When things are going wrong, you want the company that's going to be able to get things done as fast as possible for you.
Today, we're going to be in over 600 homes. What the customers can count on is we're going to send a competent person to your home with a vehicle that's stocked and prepared. We're going to do what's right.
Right now, we're waiving our $79 service fee with any Cool-Ray, Brightbox, or Mr. Plumber service.
From finding the perfect house to making it your home, we'll be with you every step of the way. Howard Hanna. Home happens here.
From what I see here.
Welcome back to the Lernerville Speedway under a caution here, just past the halfway point in tonight's Salute to Veterans A feature event. Lane Snook continues to lead. John Hine has gained 8 spots. He's up to the 2nd spot in the 71. Kyle Parker runs in 3rd. Bobby Rafferty in the 4th spot, and Field Miller in position number 5. As you see the cars on the racetrack, you can see him under caution. Something's going on. I don't know. Maybe it's the new dust setting here, Scotty, that has got me all wonky.
That could very well be. So iRacing does updates every now and then. So trying to get the bugs worked out here, folks. We do apologize for the inconvenience here. But thank you for sticking with us, as we are currently under our 7th caution here tonight. Caution laps are counting. We are 42 laps into this 75-lap feature. Lane Snook, John Hine, Kyle Parker, Bobby Rafferty, and Field Miller, like Sean said. Your top 5, Kyle Moonen, Steven Spies, Gerlach, Smith, and Goldner is your top 10. That is Steven Goldner in the 30 car.
Yeah, there's a lot of Goldners that race across these GeForce Racing Leagues, so got to make sure you get the right one there, Scotty.
Absolutely.
All right, we're coming back for the green. Cross your fingers for something good here, that maybe, just maybe, our cars will stick with us. Now, I was hoping. It's not good. We are back to green anyway here on lap 44 of the Veterans Showdown. Lane Snook is your leader. Kyle Parker, John Hine. We've got the ticker going for you at least, as Snook shows the way down the back straightaway.
It is still going to be Snook out with the race lead. 12-year-old behind that 23 car. Hine, Parker, Rafferty, Miller, your top 5 still around the raceway, as Lane Snook about 0.4 of a second ahead of the crew shop 71 of John Hine.
Lane Snook, John Hine, Kyle Parker in the top 3 as the laps tick through here. And what is going to be the longest race of my life, Scotty. There you see Lane Snook. Here comes John Hine with a run to the high side as they were heading down the back straightaway. Kyle Parker running there in the 3rd spot, working the bottom of the racetrack in the 0-1-3. Down into 1 they go, and we've got a new race leader, John Hine, taking the top spot in the number 71 machine. So John Hine now out front and showing the way with Lane Snook now right behind him. Hine started 10th on the grid, so he's really coming through the field, Scotty. We got a lot of drivers that are making a lot of ground in this feature.
That they are, Sean, as we're going to go to the live timing here. John Hine up 9 positions. Bobby Rafferty up 12. Kyle Moonen sits in 6th. He is up 13 positions. Josh Gerlach currently sits 9th, now 10th, up 11. And yes, with a lot of movers here in this feature race. John Hine, though, the crew shop 71 cruising here in the top spot. Kyle Moonen up 16, though. He sits 3rd.
I see what you did there for the sponsor and cruising. Very good, Scotty. At this point, I think there's one thing I need, Scotty, and it's tequila. That's about the only thing that's going to fix what's going on over here for me.
We do apologize, folks. We have no idea what is going on, trying to fix it here still, while Sean is working behind the scenes trying to get this fixed. I'll bring you as much as I can here from the live timing screen that I am looking at. I can still tell you John Hine is your race leader, as he has extended his lead out to almost 1.5 seconds over second place running Lane Snook. Kyle Moonen about a little over 1.5 seconds behind Lane Snook as well. Still here on this green flag run. Parker, Field Miller, Steven Spies, Bobby Rafferty, Steven Goldner, Josh Gerlach, and Daniel Blau round out your top 10.
Caution flag is out over the speedway. Yellow flag is out, and we'll woe him down with 22 laps to go. Let's see here. Take that. Do that. I'm trying to do a lot of things here at one time, Scotty, and I'm usually not that good of a multitasker. I can tell you that.
Well, Sean, we're all as announcers, we are multitaskers. I mean, trying to keep track of 24 cars at the same time, and
well, there is truth to that.
Some of us working on spreadsheets, and
you're talking about me in that one. I know that much.
Others trying to keep up with live timing and Yeah, we're multitaskers.
This is like the most behind-the-scenes broadcast you're ever going to get, as you see me do all sorts of different things on the screen here tonight. Not the most professional of events here tonight for your old pal Sean going on right now.
But doing what we can, and once again, folks, we do apologize, but thank you for sticking with us here on GeForce Esports.
Yeah, doing our best here, as looks like the field getting set, doubled up again. They'll have 20 laps to go when we get around to the green.
So hopefully we get all the bugs worked out for our next race here tonight, here on GeForce Esports, with some 360 sprint car action also from Lernerville here in this doubleheader for Monday at Night Madness. Here for the Veterans Showdown for the Salute to Veterans Week.
Well, I just changed a bunch of things and none of it helped. Ever have one of those days where you just can't figure something out and it's going to be something really simple? And in the end, you're going to be like, oh, man, it was that.
Those are called Mondays.
Yeah, that's what we're having right here is a case of the Mondays for sure. For sure.
We are back to green, though, it looks like.
Yes, we are.
18 laps to go for John Hines, still with the race lead over Lane Snook. Kyle Moon and Kyle Parker. Steven Spees, your current top 5. Field Miller has been shuffled down to 7th. Gerlach running 8th. Blau running 9th. And Rafferty that 10th spot.
Coming to 16 to go, and Lane Snook just took the lead from John Hine. They were coming off of turn number 2. Hine now back to the lead with Snook. It looked like Snook was sideways there in turn number 4, and we've got the caution, and it was Lane Snook in turn number 4 as he was battling for the race lead. Wow. That's going to be a change.
I'm going to step aside here for a minute, Sean, while we try to get things figured out here.
All right.
I will be back in just a few minutes.
No problem, no problem. We come under the caution, and we've got no problems under caution here. We can set the field for you. John Hine is your race leader in that 71 machine. Kyle Parker running in position number 2. There you see Lane Snook, so he was able to, well, we'll see if he continues to run third before we get to the restart. Field Miller there in the top 5 in the 677. Steven Spees in position number 5. Stephen Goldner in 6th. Bobby Rafferty in 7th. Josh Gerlach in the 8th spot. 9th is Daniel Blau, and Jesse Atkinson completing your top 10. So getting set for the restart here in turn number 4. Field behind the iRacing pace truck. You can see him now. We're going to play peekaboo here in a second again. I just know it. Here comes the peekaboo game. As we go back to the green, Hine is your race leader. Lane Snook working the bottom line. Kyle Parker there in the mix as well. As we continue to ride around the speedway with now 11 laps remaining. And I heard somebody banging off the front stretch wall. I can still hear things as John Hine leads this one, the 71 machine, from 10th. Now with 10 laps to go is your race leader. You get a peek of him down there with Kyle Parker running in that 2nd spot, and Lane Snook in position number 3. Hine, Kyle Parker, 1 and 2. Back down to turn number 1. Parker is right there all over the race leader as they go down the backstretch. Into turn 3. John Hine, Kyle Parker side by side as Field Miller just threw a slide job and took over the 3rd spot. Getting a look there at John Hine with 7 laps to go. So we're going to get through this feature event here, folks. We're going to do a big restart and reset behind the scenes here before these 360 sprint cars come rolling onto the track. And we're going to try and get something a little better for the second half of our doubleheader here tonight. Right now, though, things are going really well for John Hine. That 71 machine, there you see him now. He looks real good out there on the speedway, making his way around with 4 laps to go. Going to do a little test here on another computer. Two laps to go for the 71 of John Hine. Kyle Parker trailing him by just about 1 second. Yeah, 1 second is the interval now. Hine, Parker, Miller, Snook, and Rafferty, the top 5. White flag flies right here, right now. Final lap for the number 71 of John Hine, and he is going to make his way down the backstretch and to turn number 3. Kyle Parker not close enough to get there. Field Miller in a solid third, but off of turn 4, John Hine gets the win in the number 71. Second place there for Kyle Parker, and Field Miller going to round out the top 3 here tonight. What a run for John Hine from 10th to the win here this evening, and he'll pick up the victory in these late models, and he opens the Veterans Showdown week with the big W for that 71 machine, and fitting as could be, he'll pull it right up there into the Lernerville Speedway victory lane, and he will be your main event winner. So John Hine picks up the win from 10th, Kyle Parker 2nd, Field Miller finished in 3rd, Lane Snook was 4th, Bobby Rafferty completing your top 5. So congratulations to those drivers in the top 3, and here's what we're going to do. We're going to bypass our victory lane interviews here, folks, so we can go ahead and get to work behind the scenes here before the 360 Sprint Show coming up in just a few minutes. So stay tuned. We'll have 360 Sprints coming up in just a bit. You're watching it all on GeForce TV, or trying to watch it all on GeForce TV. Stay tuned with us. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Lernerville Speedway on the Veterans Showdown night. Qualifying about to begin for the 360 sprint cars. Scotty, I'm going to take a deep breath. Let's forget that the last little bit just happened, and we'll get set to go racing here with the 360 sprint cars tonight at the Lernerville Speedway.
Well, like my friend Christy was telling me in the announce booth all night Friday night, we'll get through this. We'll get through this. It'll be okay. So just a deep breath. Woozah. 360 sprint cars out on the track right now. Seems to be working. We'll cross our fingers and hope for the best.
Yeah. Things are going to look a little bit different. You're going to see some things are missing here, but we're going to get through this event here tonight as Matthew Croakey jumps to the top of the charts early on in qualifying, and now Steven Fernberg up to P2, and Blake Chapman jumps up to the quick time in the number 20 machine.
Here for Monday Night Madness, a different Monday Night Madness here for the start of the Veteran Showdown here for the Salute to Veterans Week. Aiden Young up to that second spot now in 69 car. Steven Fernberg fourth. Steven Spies fifth. As Miller going up in 23rd.
Oh, Kenny Miller up there in the second spot now at a 13.167, right behind Blake Chapman's 13.149, and now Miller up to the quick time. That 23 car looking good here tonight. Kenny Miller sets quick time at a 13.086 thus far.
So a different 23 car than we're used to seeing as Sabaski, now your quick timer at a 13.058.
Wow.
Right now in that 21 car. Wow, fast indeed.
Lap number 2, we'll slow a touch. He'll keep the 13.058. So Chris Sabeski now, quick time. Donovan Ross up to the third quick spot in the number 5 machine. So the Devo Transport Routine Racing entry into a podium spot here in qualifications tonight. Blake Chapman and Aiden Young remain in the top 5 for quick times here thus far.
Satterfield, Carenta, Snook, Croakey, and Fernberg rounding out the top 10 currently here for qualifying.
38 cars have taken time. We've got a lot of cars again signed in here for this one, Scotty. And great night. If you're just tuning in, if you missed the late model event here tonight, we welcome you to the Veterans Showdown Week here on GeForce Racing Leagues and GeForce TV. You can head over to GeForceRL.com. That's short for GeForce Racing Leagues, GeForceRL.com. You can make charitable donations to DAV.org. That's short for Disabled American Veterans. And if you're north of the border and you want to donate, your contributions going to Soldier On here this week. Those are the two organizations that the GeForce Racing Leagues are supporting through this week, all dedicated to our veterans, no matter which side of the border you're on. Bless you for your services. Thank you for protecting our freedoms to all of those who have served and are currently serving our great nations.
Some changes going on here in your top 10 for qualifying as John Short, 51 car, not quick time, but times in at 8th, moving Carenta and Snook down a spot.
Yes, John Short in the 51 machine. Looks like only Kyle Moonen is out there on the racetrack, and he has parked the car, so we are getting set here for heat race action in a matter of a few moments. Big racing action here tonight. We're going to have a 50-lap main here for this Veteran Showdown in the 360 sprint cars. And Scotty, unlike the late models that we saw earlier tonight, these 360 sprint cars, it's a different deal for them. The late models, everyone had the same setup. Tonight, and the sprint cars, it's an open setup show as Kyle Moonen just jumped up to the 6th quick position in the 24 machine.
And that is going to do it for Kyle Moonen. Then for, looks like Lance Ripka possibly out on the track as well. But yes, very different here tonight, Sean. And open setups now with these 360 sprint cars. And it's really going to come down to the setup with this track like we saw it slick off in the late model portion. Whoa. Hang on to it, Ripper. As we saw in the late model portion of this double header here, track will slick off, and it really comes down to the drivers, even on an open setup. Practice makes perfect on trying different setups with different breakdowns of the track. You just saw the track reset there in a matter of seconds, and we are set to go heat racing for qualifications here tonight.
Absolutely. So heat race number 1 heading to the staging area. Let's take a look here quickly at your results from qualifications here tonight. Sebeski, your quick timer. Kenny Miller, Donovan Ross, Stephen Goldner, and Blake Chapman in the top 5. Moon and Young, Satterfield, Short, and Carenta rounding out the top 10. The next group coming on to the screen as we'll roll them on through there as we've had 30 different drivers take time here tonight to compete. Oh, even more than that. Look at that. 40.
40.
We had 40 drivers here.
Wow.
All right. 40 drivers took time.
40 drivers out of 45. Looks like.
Yeah, 41. Kemper took it.
41.
So 41 drivers took time. Wow. We're going to be busy. We've got a lot of racing to get to. So let's go ahead and get to the starting lineup here. For heat race number 1, Scotty.
Heat race number 1 is going to see Kyle Goldner in the 97 car on the front row to the inside. To his outside, though, that's the 123 car, Lane Snook.
Kyle Moonen inside row number 2. That's the number 24 machine. Chris Sebeski outside of him in car 21.
Jesse Atkinson inside of row number 3 in the 135, and Benjamin Kolsch in the 16 car to his outside.
4th row, Kyle Parker, the 013 on the inside. Daniel Blau, he drives the 17, and he'll line up outside row 4.
And Jeffrey Kemper, the 181 car, starting shotgun on the field here tonight for heat race number 1 for this start of the Veterans Showdown for Salute to Veterans Week. The actual Veterans Showdown happening this Wednesday, Sean,
yes,
for the hometown heroes over there at Cedar Lake. So be sure to tune into that.
Yeah, that'll be a cool event. Veterans racing in that one on Wednesday night. Veterans only in that event, all part of the Hometown Heroes, brought to us by Icon Sim Sports each and every Wednesday night here with the GeForce Racing Leagues.
So getting set here to go green here at Lernerville Speedway. You know, Sean, we saw some great looking pro late models just before these sprint cars here. These sprint cars look pretty good though too as well.
Absolutely. We saw some of them for part of the time. We didn't see them the whole time.
They look great in qualifying action. They did.
It was like there was a lot of dust in your eyes and you just couldn't see the feature. How about that? Here we go. Green flag is out. 8 laps the distance. Top 4 go right to the A main, Scotty.
Top 4 go right to the A main, and look at Goldner in the 97 car, and Snook flirting with disaster on that very top high line with no wall on the backstretch, as it is Snook looking for the race lead and the slider here through turns 1 and 2.
So Snook and Kyle Goldner going to battle this one out as they go back to turn number 3. Kyle Goldner to the bottom, slides up right in front of the 23, 123 of Lane Snook. Snook to the bottom, and here comes the 24 of Kyle Moonen. And he tried the daily double. Now we're 3 wide as we head to turn number 3. Wow, what action here in the first heat race, Scotty.
As Goldner tried to do a 2-for-1 special off of turn number 4, could not get it done. Shuffled back to 3rd. Now 4th, though, is the 135 of Atkinson, as Snook still holds on to the race lead. 4 laps to go, Sean.
Atkinson in that final transfer spot. Kyle Parker right now 1 out in the Spartan 013. But it's Lane Snook showing the way. Kyle Moonen, a pair of Bandy-built racing teammates, run 1 and 2. Kyle Goldner off the top of the racetrack. He'll pound the wall and roll it down the front straightaway. What was a good run for the 97 coming to an end. That moves Kyle Parker. No, Jesse Atkinson. Yes, Kyle Parker will be in the final transfer spot right now in the 013.
So the big block modified driver driving some sprint cars here tonight will move into that 4th and final transfer, coming to the white flag one more time around for the driver out of Pennsylvania. This is a home track for him here tonight. The 123 of Snook Moonen trying to look to the inside, nothing doing. Into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. They will see the checkered flag off of turn number 4. It is Snook Moonen as he tried a haymaker in 3 and 4. And Atkinson and Parker, your top 4 transfers. Daniel Blau, the 17, rounding out your top 5.
Well, heat race number 1 goes official. Those drivers will head them on back to the pit area. as we take a look at the official results from heat race number 1 here, as heat race number 2 hits the staging area and gets set to push off. Snook will have the pole in tonight's A main, picked up the win by 3/10 over Kyle Moonen, Jesse Atkinson, Kyle Parker. They transfer Daniel Blau, Chris Sebeski, Jeffrey Kemper, Kyle Goldner, and Benjamin Kolsch. They'll get to do some alphabet soup action coming up here in a little bit. Heat race number 2 getting set to come onto the racetrack. Starting lineup has Steven Spies in the 055 lining up on the inside of row number 1. Matthew Croakey outside of him. He pilots car number 2.
Aiden Young, 69 car to the inside of row 2, to the outside, the 23 car of Kenny Miller.
Andrew Smith in the 33 inside row number 3. Terry Landis next to him in the 661.
Inside of row 4 is a 747 of Roger Craig, and to the outside, the 30, that's Bruce Hilton.
Andy Patton, A&J Custom Creations, car number 87. He'll be your 9th starter on this heat race. 9 cars, 8 laps for transfer directly to tonight's A main.
And also Andy Patton with A&J Custom Creations. A big thank you to them being one of the sponsors here this week for the Veterans Showdown. Salute to Veterans Week, making the trophies for all of our winners through the divisions here this week. So big thank you to him.
How cool is that? How many trophies? We've got 20 leagues across GForce Racing Leagues. What a great supporter with all that he does. Looks like he's officiating tonight, but yeah, he races, he makes all the trophies, and they're cool trophies at that, and then he goes and officiates as well. What a great guy.
Great guy indeed. As we see the off of turn number 4 for heat race number 2 here at Lernerville Speedway. And just like that, Croakey out to the race lead. Here comes Miller, 23 car around the outside of Steven Spies. For second, Aiden Young currently on the hot seat in that 4th and final transfer as Landis to the inside. A little bit of contact. Croakey leads lap 1.
Croakey has the lead, but Kenny Miller all over him as they go back to turn number 3. Croakey's going to leave the cushion. Miller's got to run off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway. What does he do with him in turn 1 as Croakey goes down to the bottom line? Miller ripping the top. Now he's got a big run down the back straightaway, but Kenny make it work. Scotty, we're side by side for the lead.
Croakey using the middle line here, but that top shelf line is the fastest as Miller gets into the wall, slows his momentum, trying to build it back up again right on the cushion. We ride along with him along the top side of the raceway, just putting it on the, well, what is the cushion right there along the front stretch. Race leader, though, 23 car Miller.
So Miller now to the race lead as the two of Matthew Croakey looked a little loose there off of the corner. He'll try to settle in and come after your race leader as we go on board with Matthew Croakey as he pilots the number 2 car. Steven Spies running in the 3rd spot as we'll take a look back here at the action. Steven Spies back there in 3rd. Aiden Young now 4th. Andrew Smith has made his way to the 5th position. Bruce Hilton, Roger Craig, they're battling it out. And Terry Landis coming back into that mix as well.
Great battle near the back of the pack here, but up to the front, though, the 23 car of Miller. Sean, I don't know if you noticed, he started to change lines there ever so slightly and still changing lines. Was on the top shelf. Now diamonds it, diving in down to the middle at bottom of the raceway in 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and he'll do just that to pick up the checkered flag here for heat race number 2. Croakey in 2nd, Spies in 3rd. Aiden Young, you're rounding out your top 4 transfers, and Smith, the 33 car, rounding out the top 5.
So a very good and exciting heat race number 2 goes official here tonight. As those drivers head back to the tech area, we'll take a look at the results as they pass through the scales. Miller, Croakey, Spies, and Young, they go to the A. Smith, Hilton, Craig, Landis, they're going to some alphabet soup action. 3rd heat race coming onto the racetrack now. Scotty, let's look at the grid.
Dean Reynolds in 79 car starts on the pole to the outside, the 29 is Steven Fernberg.
Robert Satterfield, the 55, inside row number 2 with Donovan Ross flanking him to the outside in car 5.
Connor Ross in the 35 to the inside of row 3. To the outside, that's 70 of Mike Cranmer.
Stephen Bixler, the 75, he'll line up inside the 4th row with John Rayner outside of him in the 302.
Jack Clevenger going to start shotgun on the field here in car 78. And Sean, I don't mean to bother you here, but apparently the ticker still thinks we're running late models.
Oh, well, you know, of all the issues I've had.
Last time I knew, late models didn't run wings unless it's Cheaters Day.
I've seen it. It's been done. It has been done. No,
and
you're
occasionally, occasionally a cowboy hat. I don't know if you ever saw that picture on Facebook.
I have not. You'll have to show me that one.
Some great looking cars here though for heat race number 3.
You know, I had it in my notes. I had like everything we were doing between the races, and then everything blew up in my face, and I just never got through all of those. Thank you. Good catch, Scotty. You are on your game tonight. The King Racing 43. Notice you are sharp tonight, man. What did you have for breakfast today?
A slice of Casey's Pizza, if that says anything here. A staple in the Midwest as we are green with heat race number 3. Donovan Ross, the 5 car, had the lead for a split second off turn number 2. Going back to turn 3, though, Fernberg up on the top side. He'll have lap number 1.
Fernberg leads it. Ross in second. Here comes Satterfield in the 55 to the inside, looking for P2 and then potentially more. Satterfield to the inside. Donovan Ross right there on the cushion. All of this happening right there with Steven Fernberg, who leads by a half car length as they go by the stripe. Now here comes Satterfield looking for the lead.
He'll have the lead off turn number 2. Sean sliding up in front of Fernberg. Donovan Ross down through the middle of car number 5. Looking to run a slider. Will not do so. Fernberg on the binders does not make contact with Ross. Will lose a little bit of the momentum. Reynolds sits in that 4th and final transfer in car 79 as Donovan Ross flirting with disaster up on the top side.
Oh, you bet he was. He had that right rear right on the edge of the racetrack as we go on board now with Steven Fernberg running in 3rd. You can see how that not much room for error along the top of that racetrack as we come off of turn number 4 and down the front straightaway.
That cushion is that knife edge between fast and broken. Not so much pushed up to the outside of the racetrack yet, but we will see it pushed all the way to the top there of this racetrack as trouble for Fernberg into the infield. Or no, excuse me, that's Reynolds in the 79 car into the infield. That moves Clevenger, the 78 car, up to that 4th final transfer as of the moment.
And a good run for Jack Clevenger. He started 9th on the field. He was your last starter. The white flag is in the air. Final time around for Satterfield as he'll bring us off of turn number 2. But Jack Clevenger, he's been the man on the move. He's going to put it in the show after starting last in his heat. Also going to the show, the 55 of Robert Satterfield as a heat race winner. Donovan Ross going to cross 2nd, Fernberg 3rd, and Clevenger takes that final transfer spot in the number 78 machine. Wow, things changed. Wonder what happened with Dean Reynolds there. Something had to have been wrong for him, if he was out of fuel or something become disconnected for him, but he exited the racetrack in a hurry. So tough break for him. As you'll see in the results, he was in a transfer spot and then gets credited with 9th. Satterfield, Ross, Fernberg, Clevenger to the A. Mike Cranmer, John Rayner, Connor Ross, Steven Bixler, and Dean Reynolds. They'll get some bonus laps coming up in some consolation feature events. Heat race number 4 starting to grid up now, Scotty. This one has the SB G3 3D printing. Oh, I'm going to bed. Tom Taylor, he's on the pole position. Chad Cote in the 11 machine. He's outside of row number 1.
Take the rest of the lineup, Sean, here. I need to reconnect.
Gotcha. John Short inside row number 2, the 51. Steven Fernberg outside of him, or Stephen Goldner outside of him in the 31 machine. Nicholas Vickery, your 5th starter. He drives the 00 with G.J. Boydell to his right in the 014. 4th row, Barry Goldner, the 36 inside. Brad Wright in the 270 on the outside. Lance Ripka will be your 9th and final starter for heat race number 4. He drives the 125 machine out of Laverne, Minnesota. Set to go here for the 4th, though, make that, yes, the 4th heat race here tonight for these 360 sprint cars as the Lernerville Speedway continues to progress through the changes in the racetrack. Still plenty of grip out there as the driver's been searching around and finding it, both on the top and in the middle. We've seen some drivers go to the bottom. So it's pretty good heat races here early on our Veterans Showdown Week with the GeForce Racing Leagues. Make your donations at GeForceRL.com. Tom the Printman Taylor sets the pace. Chad Cote next to him in the 11. We come to the green. It is out. We are underway. Taylor will lead him down into turn number 1 as the 51 of Short goes to the bottom. Here comes the 30 of Goldner to the high line, but he can't get by the 11 of Cote. Look at him come off of turn number 4, all stuck together still. Now we head back to turn number 1, 3 wide for the second spot. Cote going to prevail around the top as the 30 of Steven Goldner nearly touched tires with Cote. Now Goldner to the bottom. He'll grab the second spot in the number 30 machine, and Cote runs third. John Short, though, coming after him. This is happening right in front of Nicholas Vickery in that 00. Short right now has the final transfer position. Can he hold on? Can Tom Taylor hold on? With 5 laps to go, he's your race leader. Goldner, Cote, and Short still battling in the transfer spots.
Coming to 4 laps to go, though. Tom Taylor with the race lead, hanging on to it. Goldner running in that second position. 31 car. Cote around to the inside, though. He's going to steal second off of turn number 2. John Short wants third, shuffling Goldner back to 4th. Oh, my. Great racing action here going on in this heat race, Sean.
Boy, they have been so close to touching tires as now here comes Short to the inside of Cote. Goldner holding on to that final transfer spot. And right now, Nicholas Vickery, he is watching the action in front of him. And you can bet he's ready for one of those drivers to make a slip up, and he will pounce. You see your top 4 cars all running together. We're on board with the 5th place machine and Nicholas Vickery. Oh, Tom Taylor in trouble.
Car was off the racetrack. Car was off the racetrack and into the outside wall off turn number 4 now. Chad Cote, your race leader in the 11 car. Goldner running second. Short. Vickery, your top 4. As Ripka shuffled all the way to the back. Checker flag coming out. Goldner with the slider in the heat race win as Cody gets into the wall at the flag stand. John Short in 3rd. Nicholas Vickery 4th. And G.J. Boydell rounding out your top 5. Wow, what a race.
Boy, that one got wild as checkered flag was coming out there at the end. And heat race number 4 results coming up on the screen. It is Goldner, Cote, Short, Vickery. They go to the A. G.J. Boydell 5th, Tom Taylor 6th, Lance Ripka, Barry Goldner, and Brad Wright, the rest of your finishing order. Heat race number 5, our final heat race of the evening, has Field Miller on the pole position, the 677. Josh Gerlach outside of him in the 071.
Row 2 is going to see the 10 of Ross Carrenta to the inside, to the outside, the 20 car. That is Blake Chapman.
3rd row, the 71 of John Hine, fresh off the late model victory. Richard Holland, the 116. He'll start outside row number 3.
Inside of row 4, Chris Whipple in car 81 to the outside. That's 34 of Gary Taylor.
Jeff Barker, the 513, will be your final starter in this final heat race. 9 cars, 8 laps, top 4 go directly to the A main. There you saw the colors you were talking about earlier tonight, Scotty, the Carolina Tea Company,
yes.
car 677. Field Miller's brother, he's got to be busy. It's got a festival season, and all that stuff's got to get started here down that way. Much warmer weather down there, so I bet they're busy with the whole Carolina Tea Company down there.
Very busy indeed. Weird seeing that Carolina Tea Company in sprint car form, but excited to see what he can do here tonight for the doubleheader start of the Veteran Showdown here this week for Salute to Veterans Week here for the GeForce Esports Network here. Thank you all for tuning in for the 360 Sprint Car edition here tonight as we are set to go green off turn 4.
Green flag is out. Field Miller, the defending champion of the Big Block Series in the sprint cars tonight, has the lead, but here comes the 71 of Gerlach to the outside and his Indy Race Parts looking number 71. Carrenta works the bottom. 5 cars come together off of turn number 4. They're 3 wide as they stair-step them into turn number 1, and here comes Blake Chapman around the outside of 2 of them into 20.
Coming around, called to the outside is Blake Chapman. 3 wide through turns 3 and 4 for that second place spot. Almost 4 wide, back down to 2 wide racing into turns 1 and 2. And it looks like Gerlach, no, Carrenta and Gerlach side by side for the race lead in turn 3, Sean.
Yeah, Carrenta has the lead now. The 71 of Gerlach trying to hold on to it, but here comes the 20 of Blake Chapman to the bottom. Chapman on the bottom. Gerlach, great run on the top side. He's coming back after Ross Carrenta, coming back towards the race lead. They'll come off turn number 4. It's still Carrenta, Gerlach, Chapman, and Miller running in the transfer spots, but Miller now with his hands full with John Hine.
John Hine, the Crew Shop 71 car in 5th on the outside, looking into a top 4, wants to transfer right out the bat to the A feature here tonight as we go on board with him. Single file around Lernerville Speedway right now as a couple cars dive down to the bottom side of the racetrack, back up to the top. Still on the nose of John Hine. Carrenta still leads. Then Gerlach, Chapman, and Miller. John Hine rounding out your top 5, coming to 2 laps to go.
Can Hine get the run on the high line right here to come after Miller for that final transfer spot? He is ripping the top of the speedway, and he has caught Miller with the white flag in the air. The race on the final lap is for the transfer spot. Miller dives to the bottom. Here comes Hine after him, Scotty.
And the race is on. Here comes Hine down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4 for the final time. Checkered flag flies for Carrenta. Gerlach, Chapman, John Hine edging Field Miller out for that 4th and final transfer spot. Miller rounding out the top 5.
Wow, that is a fantastic way to end our heat races here tonight with a photo finish for the transfer spot. Let's make it official and take a look at the results here. No, that's not the results. Here come the results. Here they come. Ross Carrenta, Josh Gerlach, Blake Chapman, John Hine gets that spot. Look at the interval, 3/300ths of a second between Hine and Field Miller. Holland, Barker, Whipple, and Taylor rounded out the rest of the field as tonight's, let's see what feature event is out there. D, Maine, your D feature is in the staging area, Scotty. Here's the starting lineup on this one. Terry Landis, the 661, and Steven Bixler side by side in row number 1.
Barry Goldner in the 36 car to the inside of row 2 with Chris Whipple, the 81 to the outside.
Benjamin Kolsch of the 16 and the 87 of Andy Patton side by side in row 3.
Dean Reynolds to the inside of row 4 to the outside. That is Brad Wright in car 270.
Gary Taylor going to be the final scheduled starter on this one. Looks like 8 laps is the distance on the D feature here tonight for the Veterans Showdown Week.
So drivers having to run some alphabet soup here tonight, and D, let me see here. Doing better. Congratulations, welcome to the C feature. You can do better, and then A for effort, right?
Something like that. Or a lot of bonus laps is what these drivers are hoping for now. Is if they can keep
test
them
and tune. There we go.
Yeah, just feeling out their setups. Yeah, they're going to feel better after. Some of these drivers are going to feel better after this one and going to keep moving on. You got to keep an eye on the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Remind yourself about the trouble he had earlier. Was running in a transfer spot and the car shut down on him and went pit side. So we'll keep an eye on Dean Reynolds and his progress here tonight as he tries to run the alphabet.
And how many cars have we taken out of this feature into the C feature then, Sean?
I am not sure. I'm going to guess 4 are going to transfer. They're banging here on the front straightaway right away on the start. There's Barry Goldner trying to sort it out. Now they're 3 wide as they head to the back straightaway.
Head to the back straightaway. Landis is going to be that top runner as of right now. Barker in the, Bixler in the 75, sitting in second. Whipple and Kolsch battling it out for 3rd and 4th.
Yeah, Kolsch in that 16 machine coming around through the middle of the racetrack. Here comes Dean Reynolds after him. That is for, I presume, the transfer spot. So Reynolds to the inside of Kolsch. He'll have it right in front of them. The 81 of Chris Whipple. He was pretty sideways. So now the 79 of Reynolds got a big run on him. Reynolds coming through the field. He's gained 4 spots as he takes over 3rd. Whipple now back to his inside, and he'll grab that spot again.
Yeah, a little bit of a bobble off turn number 4 for that 79 car of Reynolds. Sitting outside the top 4 now, trying to run back down the 16 of Kolsch, sitting in that 4th place spot. Landis still out in front. Bixler in second. Whipple up to 3rd.
Yeah, Bixler had a moment coming off turn number 4. Had that car really sideways last time, and he allowed Whipple and Kolsch and company to close in quite a bit on him. Right now, Terry Landis is leading by 1 3/4 seconds or so. Bixler in second, Whipple in third, Kolsch in the 4th spot, Reynolds coming back after them. Great racing going on here for the transfer spot. Benjamin Kolsch has it with 2 to go.
Landis still out with a race lead, almost a 2-second race lead for the 661 car as Reynolds slid up the track, had to get on the binders before going off the edge there, losing a little bit of momentum. Will hit the high side again, trying to get that run on Kolsch, holding that fourth and final transfer spot. Whipple runs to the inside of the track now to try to get a run on Bixler.
Meanwhile, coming off of turn number 4, checkered flag is out. Terry Landis will move on to the C main. Bixler second, Whipple finishes third, and Kolsch crosses the line in fourth. Dean Reynolds fifth, Gary Taylor going to finish sixth. Brad Wright, Barry Goldner, and Andy Patton will be your unofficial finish here tonight in the D feature. So they have very little time to get their cars ready because tonight's C feature is in the staging area already. 4 cars have transferred from the D to the C. We'll transfer 4 from this C to tonight's B feature. Richard Holland is on the pole of the C main in the 116. Jeffrey Kemper outside of him in the 181.
It's going to be Roger Craig inside of row 2, the 747, and Connor Rawson, 35 to the outside.
Lance Ripka in the 125. He'll line up inside the third row with Jeff Barker outside of him in the 513.
Kyle Goldner to the inside of row 4 of the 97 car, and to the outside, just winning the C feature. That's 661 of Terry Landis.
Steven Bixler in the 75 and the 81 of Chris Whipple. They make up row number 5.
And Benjamin Kolsch, your final transferring out of that D feature into tonight's C feature. He will start shotgun on the field.
So we will get the C main ready to go for transfer to the B after 8 laps of action, as this has been a good night of racing already on this one here, Scotty, and well, we've still got a lot of racing to go. You can still make your donations over at GForceRL.com. That's where you want to head over to and get your donations in for either Soldier On, the Canadian Armed Forces program, or to the DAV here in the stateside. Disabled American Veterans. They've been serving veterans for just over 100 years now. You can learn more at dav.org, Scotty.
And a great week here planned out for the GeForce Racing Leagues here for the Veteran Showdown. Salute to Veterans Week. This is the second half of our race here tonight for Monday Night Madness. Started out with some pro late models, now some 360 sprint car action from the Lernerville Speedway, and we are set to go green with our C feature here tonight.
And the green flag is out. Here we go. The 116 of Richard Holland, Jeffrey Kemper. And the 181, they'll bring us down into the first set of turns. There's Roger Craig working the bottom in the 747. Look at the boss man go in the 35 of Connor Ross. He'll go to the top. 4 going to transfer out of this one, Scotty.
4 transfer indeed. Holland still with that race lead going down into the grass. Still with the race lead, though. Craig up to second, then Ross and Kemper in the top 4. Great group of cars here through turns 3 and 4. Side-by-side battles all over the racetrack. 3 wide down the front stretch.
Well, Jeffrey Barker or Terry Landis is on a mission. The 661 has already gained 3 spots, make it 4, and he moves into a transfer spot. Started in the D main. He's now running in a transfer that could put him into the B.
Could put him into the B, trying to run the alphabet soup here. Oh, contact, though, between Craig and Landis a while back a little bit farther. Landis up to second now and takes the lead. Terry Landis out of a D feature to the lead here in the C.
Ooh, there was a little contact. Jeff Barker got into somebody. Barker going to take over third. Here comes Lance Ripka after him in the 125. So right now Barker's got the final transfer spot. No, he doesn't. Here comes the 181 of Jeffrey Kemper by him. Kemper's got the 4th position as they are throwing haymakers back here for the final transfer spot, and Kyle Goldner's going to go around 2 of them on the outside.
A lot of great action here tonight in the 360 action.
Wow. Connor Ross is in the final transfer spot now, Scotty. The 35, Lance Ripka runs third. Roger Craig is in second. Your race leader is Terry Landis. He takes the white flag here. Final lap of the C main from the D. Terry Landis looks like he's going to win this one. He comes from the D. He'll win the C and move on to the B. That's the 661 of Terry Landis. Wow.
Roger Craig second, Connor Ross the 35 in third, Lance Ripka in fourth, and Kyle Goldner rounding out top 5. Goodness gracious.
Wow. Terry Landis may have found something out there on the racetrack when he had to run that D main. May have made the quick adjustment to his race car because that thing was a rocket ship right at the drop of the green. He started ripping to the front. So good on him for keeping them dancing shoes on. And now we've got your last chance to qualify for the show. 13 cars going to line up for the 8-lap B main. Only 4 are going to transfer out of this one, Scotty. So let's take a look at the grid on this one.
That is going to see Daniel Blau on the front row to the inside of row 1 in the 17 car. Andrew Smith at 33 to the outside.
Mike Cranmer in the 70 starts third on the grid, and G.J. Boydell lines up outside row number 2.
Row 3 is going to see Field Miller in the 677 to the outside. Chris Besky in car 21.
Bruce Hilton in the 30. He starts 7th outside of the 4th row. Will be John Rayner in car 302.
Tom Taylor, SPGC 3D printing car 14, starts the inside of row 5 to the outside. Terry Landis in the 661 trying to keep going here to the A.
Roger Craig, he's your 11th starter in the 747. Connor Ross outside the 6th row in car 35.
And Lance Ripka will start shotgun on the field in car 125.
So there you see it, 13 cars. 4 of them get to make the big show here tonight, the 50-lap A feature. That's not too far off here this evening. What a night we've already had. Great looking car there for Daniel Blau. Andrew Smith right there with him. Cranmer, Boydell, Miller, Sebeski in the 21 there. Phantom Motorsports car. We get the green next time off of turn number 4.
No set to go green here this time by the flag stand. How about that run for Terry Landis, Sean, in that 661 car? He is definitely running the soup here tonight, and out of a D into a B feature here. Let's see if he can make it to the A.
Yeah, how far does the run go? Here comes the green flag from Barney on the flag stand. It'll wave. We're underway.
Underway indeed, as Blau is going to lead them. Look at Landis charging through the field already. As looks like the 302 car, a little bit of contact shuffled all the way to the back of the pack. Daniel Blau leading lap number 1.
In that second spot, ticker's going to say 33.79 on the car. That's Andrew Smith, Mike Cranmer, and Field Miller right now has the final transfer position. Look at Roger Craig. He's already up to the 5th spot, and they're banging behind him. But Roger Craig now 1 out of a transfer spot in the 747. Oh, he's got the car loose in turn number 2, trying to get it winged down on the back straightaway.
Landis currently sits in 10th in the 661 car, trying to make up some room. As if they're taking top 5, he's got some work to do. Tom Taylor, Ripka, and Sebeski and Ross in front of him. Blau still leads in car 17 with almost a 1.5 second lead.
It's top 4, Scotty, so the pressure hot right
top
now.
4.
Yeah, pressure is on these drivers to get there. Like we see the 35 of Connor Ross. He runs in 7th. Roger Craig in the 6th spot. Mike Cranmer is up to 5th, and he is coming after Sebeski. Sebeski in the 21 machine there, right there, center of your screen. He's got the final transfer spot right now.
Almost put him 3 deep through 1 and 2 there. Field Miller running 3rd as we've got Sebeski right behind him. Lap traffic there as you see the 10 car.
Yeah, that's Bruce Hilton, the 30 machine going down. It's got the 10 on the top. That's a Dave Blaney looking scheme. How about Dave Blaney getting the win this weekend with the World of Outlaws NOS Energy Drink Sprint Cars? As the white flag is out, Daniel Blau in control of this one. These drivers trying to settle out some starting spots as Field Miller goes around the outside. Here comes Sebeski, Smith. They're 3 wide. Blau's going to take the checkered. 3 cars battle for second. Miller gets the spot. Wow, what a finish.
Wow. What a finish indeed. That'll bring us to the A main here in just a few minutes. Consolation feature action is done. Whew.
Wow. Yeah, catch your breath here for just a moment because Yeah, you're going to need it. We've got 50 laps around the corner in tonight's tonight's A main as the results of the B main come up. Blau, Miller, Sebeski, and Smith. They go in the top 4. They go to the A. Roger Craig was 5th. Lance Ripka, Terry Landis, G.J. Boydell, John Rayner, and Tom Taylor in the top 10, followed by Hilton, Ross, and Cranmer. A feature action right around the corner on this Veterans Showdown week for the 360 sprint cars. 50 laps will be the distance. You want to stay tuned for that one. Right now, we'll turn our attention to a special presentation as the GeForce Racing Leagues salute the members of our armed services.
Sim Racing.
From the one and only Gambler Motorsports Racing Team.
From Phantom Motorsports.
From GForce Racing Leagues.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
We welcome you back to the Lernerville Speedway where practice is underway right now. Final laps that these drivers have to get their cars ready for the main event. We want to ask you again to please make your donations as we work through this week, all about our veterans as we race all week long. The Veterans Showdown on Wednesday. The Dirt Modified is going to race a 100-lap feature on Thursday. It's the 2021 Veterans Showdown from the GeForce Racing Leagues. Go to GForceRL.com to make your contributions and help our brave men and women who have sacrificed so much for folks like you and I. And you can make those donations at GForceRL.com for the DAV here on the state side and across the border up there up north for the Soldier On program up there. Scotty, we are just about set for this main event. Clock ticks under 2 minutes. I'm getting pumped up.
Pumped up indeed, Sean. And as we just saw a car take her off into the trees off turn 1, now turn 2. That's right, boys. Just get it all out of your system before the A-main here tonight. So, a great race here coming to you in just a few moments, about a minute and a half left here in practice. Lernerville Speedway can be a tricky track here, Sean, when it dry slicks off and also no wall around the outside of the track from the turn 1 to turn 4. Let's check the weather here. 77 degrees, 57% humidity, clear skies, and a 2-mile-an-hour wind. Boy, I wish we would have had something similar on Saturday night with just a little bit less humidity, though. Would have been great.
Yeah, it was a little warm Saturday night as we raced at I-90 Speedway, and you had a lot of action last night at Raceway Park. I was at Houston Speedway. Pretty nice night for racing. We finally had a warm Sunday night for racing around here, Scotty.
Yes, and speaking of veterans, Sean, Memorial Day is coming up to honor the ones that we have lost. But with racing late models and sprint cars tonight, you've got late models and sprint cars coming to Houston's next week, Monday.
Oh, yeah, that is going to be a huge show. The Ben Nordorf Memorial Monday night. You can watch it live on dirtvision.com. $6,000 to win late model show, $7,500 to win 410 sprint cars. That's Monday, 6 o'clock Central is the start time. You can catch that. And Sunday night show with 410 sprint cars. Catch all the action from Houston Speedway live on dirtvision.com.
So that will do it for warm-up here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your A feature event featuring your 360 sprint cars for the Veterans Showdown start here for the Salute to Veterans Week. Some great sponsors coming on board. Cannot thank them enough. Sean, let's take a look at the starting lineup here.
Great idea. Here we go. On the pole from Pennsylvania, it's the 123. It's Lane Snook. And outside of him from Phantom Motorsports in car number 23, Kenny Miller III.
Starting inside of row 2, also from Phantom Motorsports, that is Robert Satterfield in the 55 car. To his outside, well, it's your pole sitters teammate, 31 car of Stephen Goldner from Vanderbilt Racing.
Third row, it's the number 10 of Ross Carrenta on the inside. On the outside, the 24 of Kyle Moonen.
Inside of row 4, the 2 car of Matthew Croakey. To the outside, that is the 5 car, Donovan Ross.
Number 5, row number 5, Chad Cote, the 11 car on the inside. And Josh Gerlach, the Dizzy Motorsports 71, he is your 10th starter.
Starting 11th here tonight, the 135, that is Jesse Atkinson. To the outside, the 55 of Steven Spees.
Let's move now to row number 7 on the grid. That's where the 29 of Steven Fernberg lines up on the inside. On the outside, that'll be the 51 of John Short.
Blake Chapman to the inside of row 8 in the 20 car. To the outside, the 013, that is Kyle Parker, starting 16th.
17th starter, Aiden Young in car number 69. Jack Clevenger in the 78 lines up outside row number 9.
Row 10 is going to see Nicholas Vickery in the 00 to the inside. Of the Crew Shop 71 car of John Hine to his outside.
Let's go to row number 11. It's Daniel Blau, the 17 on the inside, with Field Miller in the 677 lining up 22nd.
Chris Vasky to the inside of your 12th and final row in the 21 car, and to the outside, rounding out your 24 car field, the 33 of Andrew Smith.
That is your starting lineup 50 times around here tonight for the Veterans Showdown, the 360 sprint car portion of Veterans Showdown week, as the field assembles in rows of 2 behind the iRacing pace truck. So this is going to be a good one here, folks, as a lot of laps. They've got the fuel cells packed tight, Scotty. We're going to see these cars go through major transitions with so much fuel in these machines. You're talking a couple 100 pounds of fuel in the back of these cars now, and when they get to the end, there'll be just a few pounds left as the field makes their way off of turn number 4. We've got a green flag. We are racing.
That we are. Lane Snook, Steven Spees getting together right off the start, collects a few cars. As we're still lean, mean, and green here for lap number 1. Snook going to get shuffled a bunch of spots here, back to 15th as Miller, your race leader, he leads lap 1 coming into turn number 3.
So Kenny Miller leads early on in this one. Stephen Goldner and Kyle Moonen representing the Vanderbilt stables run 2nd and 3rd. Josh Gerlach in the 4th spot, but he's got plenty of pressure all over him, including the 5 of Donovan Ross, and here comes the 10 of Ross Carrenta to the bottom, battling it out for the 4th position. Carrenta will have it down the back straightaway.
Carrenta has a position now, working to the bottom middle side of the racetrack as you have Gerlach up top. Side by side in a turn number 1, Miller has the race lead, but Stephen Goldner starting to inch closer and closer in car 31.
Here comes the 5 of Donovan Ross to the inside. Slide job, and he'll have the spot. Here comes the 71 of Gerlach back to his inside. This is the race for the 5th spot. Gerlach slides up as the 5 of Ross going to have to get off the gas, and that gave the 51 of John Short a big run on him. Here's a slider from Ross up on Short. Contact as they get him sideways in turn number 4. Ross is into the outside wall.
We will go under caution here. First caution of the night being brought out, and caution laps do count here tonight, Sean. So on lap number 7, caution coming out for, I believe,
that was Donovan Ross was laying on
Donovan
his side.
Ross.
Yeah, he was on his side on the front straightaway. There you see the problems on the car. And it looks like he is just going to call it a night for that number 5 machine. So tough break here early on for the driver of the Devo Transportation, car number 5. Meanwhile, out front, this is going to erase the lead that Kenny Miller had been building up in that number 23 car. Stephen Goldner in the 30, and the 24 of Kyle Moonen going to restart right there behind him.
Moonen have a front runner in these 360 sprint cars as well. He currently sits third. Now with the field bunching back up right behind him, though, Ross Carenta, the 10 cars, had some good runs as of late, too, when he's been able to run here. Goldner, though, three-time champion, sits in second.
And you know,
30 on the car, 31 on the scoring. Go ahead, Sean. You were about to say something. I'm sorry.
Sorry there. What I've noticed a lot about Steven Goldner is he's not always the fastest car early on in a race, but at the end, that's when the final stage of the race, if you pick a race into like 4 segments in your mind, that last quarter of the race is when I always think Steven Goldner really comes on strong. We'll have to see if that's the story tonight on a long race like this being 50 laps.
Yeah, and Goldner, I don't know if that's just the way he sets up his car for it to be better on the second half of the race, which is definitely what you want as green flag comes back out here. But we'll see the advances he can make on Miller here, Kenny Miller, that is, in the 23 car, as he extends out to almost a half-second race lead now coming into turn 3.
Ross Carenta's got himself a hot rod early on in this one. Oh, yellow is back out. Yellow's out for an incident on the speedway. Sounds like Aiden Young had trouble out there on the track in his 69. Let's see if we can get a peek at it here. You see the 69 of Young heading down into turn number 1. Oh, they stacked up in front of him. Cote,
Atkinson, and Snook.
Yeah. And Young had nowhere to go.
Another car in there. Kyle Parker in there as well, the 013 car.
Yeah, so that put us under the yellow. The field getting stacked up behind the pace truck now with about 1/5 of the laps in. But it was talking about this guy here, Scotty, Ross Carenta, the Velocity Phantom Motorsports number 10. Looking really good here early on in this one. He's gained a couple of spots. You know who else is moving? Jack Clevenger, the 78 machine, into the 8th spot. Started 18th here tonight. So big moves early on for that 78 machine.
John Hine up 10 spots too as well in the 71 car. He sits 10th. Sabaski is up 12 spots in 11th. Andrew Smith up 10 spots in 14th. So your biggest mover so far is the 21 of Chris Sabaski, who currently sits 11th, up 12 positions. You're also on the move, like you said, Sean, in 8th. A lot of big movers here tonight early on.
How about it for John Hine? Picked up the win earlier in the late model, started 10th on the field and got the win. Always fun to talk to him. I was bummed out we were having all those issues and we didn't get to do the Victory Lane presentation. He's always so fun to talk to, and I think he's in a good mood, win, lose, or draw.
Yes, always seems to have a smile on his face from the pictures I've seen as the green flag comes back out, and Miller, what a heck of a restart as Carenta dives to the bottom of the racetrack trying to get under Goldner, will not do so off turn number 2, back up to the top side by side in turn 3.
Carenta going to go to the bottom. Here comes Goldner on the top. Moonen trying to rip the lip as well in the 24 machine. A couple of Vanderbilt teammates running the same line on the top. Carenta, he's a Lone Ranger running the bottom right there in that race, running for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Carenta trying to come up the racetrack, but that groove is occupied by Kyle Moonen, who now takes over the 3rd position.
Yeah, Carenta moved up half a lane, still running up a half lane higher as a caution flag flies once again. Carenta tried the very bottom of the racetrack. A little bit of moisture down there, but everyone else seemed to be running better in the slick, as this track is definitely starting to slick off as we are on lap 17 of 50.
Trying to find what put us under the yellow. There it is. Ross Gerlach, the 71 machine. Here in turn number 4, just loops the car around, got it loose. And wow.
John Hine.
Wow.
Just barely missed him.
Wow.
Chad Cody was off the track too in the 11 car, coming back on. Goodness gracious. Can we go on the nose of Gerlach there and see that in real time?
Well, I was going to go on the nose of John Hine here and see what that looked like.
Oh, yeah, that'll work.
Yeah. Oh, this is the yellow's out here at this point. Let's go back a lap. We'll go back another lap. So this is on board the 71 of John Hine.
Sideways and wow.
Yeah. Close stuff out there.
Yes, very.
Come back live here as Kenny Miller III continues to lead us in this one. Steven Goldner, Kyle Moonen, Ross Carenta, Steven Spies. Spies is up 7 spots, restarting in 5th. We are back to green and another perfect restart here for the 23 of Miller.
That it is, and he's going to lead him through 1 and 2 down the backstretch. Goldner hanging on a second. Carenta works to the inside of Moonen, gets around him down the backstretch, back to the top shelf now. Carenta onto that 3rd place spot.
Well, these drivers are really right there on the edge of the racetrack on the high line, but right now, let's look at this guy, Chris Sabeski, into the top 5. He has gained 18 positions. He's working the very bottom of the racetrack. He's up to 5th. Just getting by the 55 of Steven Spies, Robert Satterfield right there in the other 55 machine. But they are running back there behind Sabeski, who is in 5th.
You see Satterfield went to the bottom side of the racetrack that time by following in Sabeski's tracks, as Sabeski almost had a run to the inside of the 10 car. Ross Carenta, as he got shuffled back to 4th, as Moonen says, hey, thanks for that 3rd spot again, buddy. And Goldner still running 2nd as Moonen trying to run him down, but almost a 2-second lead now for Kenny Miller in car 23.
Yeah, behind Miller, though, it is a good battle. Steven Goldner's got a little bit of breathing room, but after that, nah, hold your breath. Kyle Moonen, Ross Carenta, Chris Sabeski all together, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. They'll stair-step them 3 wide, getting into turn number 1. Moonen with the momentum on the top continues to run in position number 3.
Carenta will hit the top shelf as well. Sabeski will stay committed to the bottom side of the racetrack as Carenta, a little bit of a better run, tried the middle time, that time by 3 wide through 1 and 2. Sabeski backing out of it on the bottom side. Moonen still a better run off the top side now. They'll put him 3 deep again down in turns 3 and 4. Great run here for positions 3, 4th, and 5.
It is incredible watching these drivers, how close they are and 3 wide. And Sabeski now just took over the 3rd spot with that drive on the bottom of the racetrack. Look at him come through the field.
Caution.
And yellow. Yellow is out. A couple laps ago, I did see Jack Clevenger was off the racetrack in the 78 machine. He was outside of the speedway, outside turn 2. Not sure what this caution is for just yet, but you know what? We can find out, Scotty. Oh, maybe not. Jack Clevenger may have had trouble in the 78. Yeah, stopped outside the racetrack, put us under the yellow.
Completely off the racing surface, putting us under caution. Once again, caution laps do count here tonight. So we are a little over halfway to go, Sean. 22 laps to go of this out of this 50-lap feature.
Yeah, plenty of time to go for these drivers as we're just past the halfway point in this one. And wow, Kenny Miller's putting on a clinic right now, but Goldner's been able to hang tough, looks good on the top. But how about Chris Sabeski, that 21 machine running the bottom side of the racetrack? He started 23rd. 23rd to 3rd.
Up 20 spots here already, and does he have what it's going to take here to run down Goldner, a 3-time champion here with these 360s, and Miller, who's been having great restarts and a commanding lead. As we come back to the green, both of them hit the bottom side off of 4 down in the moisture. Sabeski married to that bottom side of the racetrack, tries to get a run on Goldner side by side as Goldner bobbles off turn 2. Sabeski up to 2nd.
Sabeski on the bottom. Goldner now trying to get that momentum on the top. As they go back to turn number 1, they're wheel to wheel. Miller still on the top. Sabeski on the bottom. He's got the drive and he's got the 2nd spot. Goldner now back to 3rd. What does Chris Sabeski have for Kenny Miller? He's gone 21 positions forward, has the driver of the number 21. And let's go on board with him as he races with Miller for the race lead.
For the race lead, listen to the throttle control here, though, through the corner, Sean. working the gas and brake at the same time. Now off the corner, trying to run down Miller in the 23 car. That bottom line working very well here as the caution flag flies again. Wow. That bottom line is working though for the 21 car of Sebeski.
Going to be interesting when we get back to this restart as the yellow flag will woe us down. And now Sebeski going to have an opportunity to fire off right behind your race leader when the green flag appears once again. Sounds like trouble for Steven Spies up here on the racetrack. There you see the 055 machine.
A little too high, I bet ya.
If you were a betting man.
Yep. I'll take that bet you're going to regret.
Yeah,
Off the top.
I am going to use that line. That way to go. way to bring the old Charlie Daniels. Yeah. You are, I'm telling you, man, you are just like, you are lit tonight. You are in a good way. I mean it.
Which is surprising for the long weekend we've had, you and I both.
Yeah, you are just bright-eyed, bushy-tailed over there, my friend. You're bringing it tonight.
Off of hardly any sleep, if you can believe that.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's set the field here as we are approaching the final fifth of this one. Kenny Miller, your leader. He's led every lap. Chris Sebeski, he's passed just about every car he could possibly pass on the racetrack, except Kenny Miller and whoever it was that started outside of him on the initial start. This is going to be interesting right here. We are coming back to the green here, Scotty.
Coming back to the green, we are. Great start from the 23 car of Miller once again. Finds some moisture on the bottom, Sean, and shoots out to the race lead. But guess what? Sebeski did the same thing, except he was married to that bottom side of the racetrack. You see Goldner, Moonen, and Carenta battling out right behind them to finish out the top five. And Sebeski trying to end close to the 23 of Miller.
Boy, how many times have we seen Steven Goldner, Ross Carenta, and Kyle Moonen battle it out in a Renegades race, and they're doing it here tonight on our Salute to Veterans Week, our Veterans Showdown Week. They're battling it out, but boy, Chris Sebeski and Kenny Miller, they have been lights out on this one as the yellow flag woes them down. Trouble for the Carolina Tea Company 677, Field Miller with trouble on the speedway. You want to take a bet on this one, Scotty?
No, I'll take a prediction, though. Around the outside just gets a little too high in the middle of the corner there, and you do that, that'll suck you right into that wall, and sure enough, backs are right on in, and tips are over.
Oh, there's trouble for the 51 of John Short. Got his right rear into that as well.
Ooh.
Kyle Parker got a little piece of the action. Cote sneaks by. Blake Chapman sneaks by. And lucky for Field Miller, he lands it on all four wheels and doesn't have to call the tow truck.
He'll keep that car rolling. Bet you it's got some suspension issues on it, though.
Yeah, they don't drive well after you've had trouble like that. In fact, he is in the pit area right now getting repairs on the 677.
Yeah, once that wing gets banged up, it will not drive well. You'll be fighting the car the rest of the night.
Well, Kenny Miller has been perfect on all of the restarts here tonight on this number 23 machine. We look back at Chris Sebeski. Here is the restart. Can Sebeski stick with him? We come off of turn number 4. We're back underway. Sebeski kind of holding tough right there. He'll go to his inside as we go to turn number 1. Look at the battle for the lead now, Scotty.
Side by side for the race lead coming off of turn number 2. Sebeski is there. Is he going to try to run the bottom line again? Yes, he will. Miller still up top and will retain the race lead. 7 laps to go this time by, but Sebeski not going away.
Not going away indeed. Got that car a little loose, though, at the apex. Did the number 21 machine, and Miller still powering around the outside in the race lead. 2 completely different philosophies right now. Kenny Miller, a lot of throttle on the top. Right rear in the cushion. Chris Sebeski idling it around the bottom. Nice and slow, keeping the tires under him. Can he get there? We will come off of turn number 4. 5 laps to go.
You got to wonder, though, Sebeski's possibly saving his tires a little bit, and will we see a line change here in these last few laps as we got a 3 deep for third, fourth, and fifth off of turn 2 between Moon and Carenta and the 31 of Goldner.
They have been battling it out. John Hine coming into that mix as well, right in front of Robert Satterfield. John Hine has gained 14 spots. He gained 9 in the late model race earlier tonight. So John Hine, he's getting his money's worth of passes here this evening. Kenny Miller, he's getting his money's worth for laps led. He'll come by the stripe now, 3 laps to go. Does Sebeski have anything for the race leader as he continues to work the bottom?
Sebeski seems to be fading just ever so slightly, lap by lap, as Miller getting faster. Lap car coming into play here, possibly. Nope, they're going to take a turn to the infield. 2 laps to go for Miller, though, still looking strong on the top side, Sean.
He is. Kyle Moonen, Stephen Goldner.
Oh, car off the track.
Ooh, Ross Carenta still in that mix as we stay green. We've got 2 laps to go. Now the white flag is in the air. Final time around. Kenny Miller down into turn number 1 for the final time. He's got the right rear on the edge. Scotty, can he hold on through one more set of turns?
He will come through turns 3 and 4, backing out of it. He will see the checkered. Sebeski in second. Carenta in third. Goldner fourth. John Hine rounding out your top 5. Kyle Moonen was the car that took the tumble off at turn number 2, and he will finish 18th.
Ooh, a big change there at the end, but no points to worry about tonight as they're heading towards the winner's circle already here tonight. The driver of the 23, Kenny Miller, what a run for him. Wow, ran that top side to absolute perfection. The opposite end of the spectrum, Sebeski on the bottom. Hard charger goes plus 21, and Ross Carenta going to round out our podium here tonight. Let's take a look at the official results for tonight's A feature event here for the 360 sprints portion of our Veterans Showdown week. Picking up the win will be Kenny Miller III, Chris Sebeski second, Ross Carenta, Stephen Goldner, and John Hine in the top 5. Hine gained 15 positions.
Is going to be 6th, is going to be Satterfield, Vickery in 7th, Daniel Blau in 8th, Josh Gerlach in 9th, and Steven Fernberg rounding out your top 10.
Finishing 11th, Andrew Smith, Jesse Atkinson, Aiden Young, Kyle Parker, and Steven Spees all in the top 15.
Your top 20 finishers are going to be Matthew Croakey, Blake Chapman, Kyle Moonen, John Short, and Chad Cody rounding out your top 20.
Donovan Ross, Field Miller, Lane Snook, and Jack Clevenger complete the field here tonight. Well, let's head on down into the podium here tonight. Scotty, Ross Carenta is finishing in the 3rd spot. And let's head back over. Scotty DeYoung has caught up with the driver of the number 10 car.
Ross, a different Monday Night Madness here tonight, but still with 360 sprint car racing at Lernerville. Walk us through that 50-lap feature, and what was it like battling with Moonen and Goldner there basically all race?
You know, anytime you can battle with those two, it's a good race usually. They're both heck of a driver. It's fun. You know, I saw Chris fly by me on the bottom there early, and I tried to follow him for a little bit, but he's a little better driver than I am, so I couldn't do it. But had to try something different at the end, and it worked for me.
So what is it like to come out here for the Veteran Showdown week and the Salute to Veterans, and just to kick it off with not only the pro late models, but then the 360 cars here at Lernerville, which can be a tricky track to run if you don't know what you're doing?
Yeah, that top side, once it wears away, it gets to be a little scary. But anyway, once I found out Roger and GForce was going to do this race, you know, I sent off the flyer to the rest of the team, and luckily they all decided they wanted to run it. And I mean, obviously it's a good thing that they're doing for the veterans, you know, can't thank them enough. So.
And Velocity Race Design and being one of these sponsors here this week as well. Who else do you have to thank for putting this car on the podium here?
Obviously the guys over at Phantom Motorsports, sponsors Power Outdoors, Weichel Sportswear, JZ iRacing Photos, and then, like you said, Velocity Race Design for helping us look good.
So once again, Ross Carenta, the 10 car, coming home in 3rd place tonight after a 50-lap feature in Lernerville. Congratulations, and we hope to see you next week. We're going to go over to Sean Neisted now, standing by with our second place finisher here, runner-up tonight, Chris Zabeski, who also happens to be our hard charger here tonight as well. Sean?
Chris, you couldn't have passed many more cars out there tonight. That 21 car, you were hooked up on the bottom. What was that like?
Yeah. Well, early on, like you said, I had to come from the complete last row, so I made it hard for myself tonight. Managed to qual on the pole and then dust myself off the high side in my heat. So early on, I was just trying to make it work. Drive where other cars weren't, pick my spots. But once I started really making some ground on the bottom, I decided I was kind of going to stick to my guns and see if I could put some pressure on the lead group. Managed to get myself up to second, and then Kenny ran away with it.
Did you ever think about changing lines? I want to know in his mind if he ever thought about changing lines, but did you think about changing lines?
Prior to the last restart, I thought that I was still making ground, but on the very last restart there, I got inside him once, and it kind of got my hopes up a little bit. He got back heavy into the corner in 3, and then really started to pull me. So by that time, with the laps winding down, I felt the risk reward probably wasn't going to be good enough to get up on the high side, potentially start pushing the car too much, and maybe slide off the rail. So kind of committed to the bottom. Happy with the run overall. Picked off a decent amount of cars, and to bring home a podium and run second against my teammate. Happy with the result.
A plus 21. Yeah, you picked up a few cars in your words there. Nice job tonight. Who else do you need to thank for the strong performance here tonight?
Of course, everybody at Phantom Motorsports, all the boys, Rob, Ross, Matt, Kenny. Congrats, Kenny, on the big win. Our primary sponsor, PowerOutdoors.net. We got Weichel Sportswear on board, Velocity Race Design, JZ iRacing Photos. You guys for getting involved with the charity event, all the work you do behind the scenes, and everybody at GForce. Can't thank you guys enough. Really appreciate it.
All right, there he is, Chris Zabeski, your Hard Charger Award winner tonight and runner-up in a stellar performance for the 21 machine. Let's go back over Scotty DeYoung, who's caught up with our race winner, Kenny Miller.
Kenny started on the outside of the front row and did not look back here tonight to come home with the victory. Walk us through that 50-lap feature and the track breakdown here tonight at Lernerville.
Yeah, the race. I was glad we were able to get some laps rolling there, kind of in the mid portion, kind of get a good rhythm going. The track, for me at least, didn't change too much where I was running. I know Chris was talking about the bottom and how good it was. Then it kind of faded, but yeah, overall I was really happy to kind of just set my own pace and get in a good rhythm and not make any mistakes.
When you're out leading the whole race like that and you see these, cautions coming out, what's going through your head as in, what do I have to do to keep this race lead and how many laps are left? How focused do you really have to be with a huge feature like this?
Yeah, certainly with a long 50 lapper like this, it's hard to not make mistakes, especially here with how easy it is to fall off. And, I felt really good early in the race. I felt like I could set a good pace and not be too far on the edge there. And, as I saw Chris poking his nose there on the bottom, I was pushing a little bit harder and harder, and it was getting a little bit treacherous, but I was able to kind of work the top, keep it rolling, and eventually pull away from him.
Phantom Motorsports, your top 3 here tonight. What does it mean to race with these guys and basically sweep the podium tonight as well?
Yeah, it's pretty cool that all 3 of us sweep the podium. Everybody there, all 5 of us, we want to win so bad. And I think it's sometimes hard racing with each other, just because of how close and competitive we are. But it's a great group of guys, and we love running with each other. So it's cool to sweep an event like this.
Who else do you have to thank for putting this 23 car on the podium tonight here in Victory Lane as well?
Everybody at Velocity Race Designs, Weichel Sportswear, JZ Photography, for helping us out. Without those guys, we couldn't be here.
So when the green flag drops, Kenny Miller taking the lead and never looking back and taking home the win here tonight in the 23 car. Congratulations to you, Kenny. Sean, what a feature event here. This was here for the 50 lap event at Lernerville Speedway. And what a great way to kick off Salute to Veterans Week here for the GeForce Esports Network.
A big thanks to Velocity Race Design, Phantom Motorsports, Gambler Motorsports, Krite Sim Racing, Spartan Racing Esports, VMR Wraps, Epsilon Sprint Wraps, and A&J Custom Creations for their support. Your hard charger tonight, Chris Sabeski, he'll pick up the free wrap from either VMR Wraps or Epsilon Sprint Wraps that he is eligible for now. All of the participants into the drawing for the $25 gift card. They'll give away 4 of those. And your top 3, they're going to draw here behind the scenes. And one of the drivers from the top 3 going to pick up a $50 bonus here tonight. That's going to start the Veterans Showdown week. The Veterans Showdown, part of the Wednesday night show, Hometown Heroes. And then Thursday night, Dirt Modifieds will be the main event. 100 lapper on Thursday for the 358s.
That indeed, and great way to kick this off, Sean. I mean, working with you is always fun, especially with this doubleheader here tonight. Looking forward to Thursdays with the Big Blocks 358, like you said, 100 lap feature that they have coming up Thursday night. You are not going to want to miss out on that as well. Need to catch my breath after tonight, Sean.
Yeah, that was a lot of racing. And you used a word there, Scotty. You said it was a lot of fun tonight. Fun is not the F word I was using when we were having the technical difficulties tonight. But we prevailed. And, again, apologies to the late model fans. Not what we wanted to do. We sincerely apologize for that. But, hey, what a great sprint car show we had tonight. Great showing. Congratulations to Kenny Miller picking up the win, and also congratulations to John Hine picking up the win earlier tonight in the Pro Late Models. By the way, Hine, 5th in the 360 sprint, so he's got a good week going already, and it's just Monday. That's going to wrap it up for some Monday Night Madness for the entire GeForce Racing League's crew and for Scotty DeYoung. I'm Sean Neisted saying good night and God bless everybody.